Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Tales on Tap. I had to have a quick look down there at the microphone because last week didn't go too well. Did the same thing where I left my microphone muted. But hello, and welcome back. I hope that you're all doing well, and welcome back to our regular scheduled broadcast of Aerilon, A Destined Journey. We're up to episode 23, and we only have 2 episodes left after this before we kind of tie things up and head into the sins of the peacekeepers. So there we are. But as again, we have our lovely cast and crew. Hello, lovely cast and crew.
Hello.
Hi.
You guys look amazing. How are you?
Thanks, buddy. Pretty good.
You know.
Yeah, all right.
Getting there.
Feel amazing.
No.
Just-
Typical British response. All right.
Just getting there. Okay. Well, as I'm sure most of you will now see, the clarity of people's faces has improved a little bit too much. We're almost
Can we dial it back? Can we
we're
dial it
almost
back?
we're almost
Right.
too beautiful now. We're almost too beautiful, but we have made some upgrades in the background. So I'm going to preface this session with, this is the first time we've used this broadcasting system. It has improved the quality, but there may be some technical issues that we might incur throughout the session. If that does happen, we might just have to go for a quick break while we sort that out. This is pretty new to us, so we just want to make sure that what we are using and doing is of the highest quality. So if we do have to take a quick break, then that's why. But before we jump into tonight's session and get through the announcements and what have you, I'm going to kick us off with just saying that if you haven't checked out our YouTube channel over the last week, definitely go and do that, because there is a video on there from us and our coverage of the UK Games Expo with a very, very special guest that attended. And I think we'll leave it there, but if you're intrigued, I'm just going to tease that it's one of the biggest names in D&D. So if you haven't watched it, head over to YouTube in a bit. Cool.
I haven't showered since.
What, since interviewing him, or? Yep.
Yes.
Amazing. So before we do get into tonight's session, we do have some announcements to get through. So before we do, let's go with, who wants to start this week? I'm going to leave it up to the panel to decide.
We are sponsored by Awfully Queer Heroes, 2 incredible individuals who produce incredible maps, spellbooks, modules, the like. Neurodivergent accessible and queer friendly. So this Pride Month, head over to their Drive-Thru RPG or their Patreon, which are linked down in the dungeon below, and be sure to back any upcoming projects that they have on Kickstarter as and when.
Amazing. Thank you very much. Natalie, we've got other sponsors, right?
We do. We have Valkyrie RPG. That's Valkyrie-RPG. And you can head over there for all D&D or TTRPG goodies. So we're talking dice, we're talking terrain, t-shirts, they have stickers, they have pins, they have all the good things. They are lovely people that we were blessed to meet, and yeah, go and check them all out. Their stuff is in the dungeon. If you put Tales 10 at checkout, it takes 10% off your order, but it does not work on the sale they've currently got going on. So because it's like over 50% on those items anyway. So if you're not going in on the sale, chuck our Tales 10 at checkout for an extra 10% off.
Amazing.
Oh,
Thank you very much.
Also, this is the last subscription box they're doing for a while. They're putting a pause on the subscription boxes. So if you want a subscription box, get in there now, get your order in for the one that's currently being ordered.
Very
Amazing.
important.
Also,
Amazing.
just a heads up, I don't know if they can pick it up on stream, but
No,
we can hear
no,
you type
they
it.
can't.
Cool.
Nope.
That's
Don't
just
worry.
for us.
Nope, that's just for you guys. I've now put it on for you guys too, so don't worry. You're
I
more
was
than
enjoying
welcome.
it.
Yep, it's immersion. Cool. Dan, we have another sponsor as well. Tell us all about them, please.
Yes, our other sponsor is Tom Carter's Battlemaps. If you ever like watching us try and fight our way through things, we have hopes of trying to defeat, then you should go over to Tom Carter's Battlemaps, where you can find all the best terrain and tokens to bring your combat sessions up just that little bit further and then skyrocket it into the greatest stratospheres. They have both digital and real things, so you can buy all of them. All their links are in the dungeon below, so go find them. And yeah, go support creators in this space.
Love that. Thank you very much. Evan, social media has been kind of blowing up recently. Can you tell me why that is?
Yeah, it has. It's because of the UKGE that we've been to previously. And it's going to continue to blow up because there's a lot of stuff that we've been filming and playing around with whilst being there. So check out all of our social medias. They are down in the dungeon, and make sure to follow all of them. Also share them with your friends because you never know what's coming up next.
Amazing. Thank you very much. And Chris, I'm going to come to you last because there's a lot happening in the very near future, right?
Yeah, quite a bit. Yeah, so we've got a few weeks left with this party and the Destined Journey, but then we're going to be moving on the 2nd of July onto Aerilon, Sins of the Peacekeeper, as Dan mentioned, which is our crime noir kind of, maybe slightly some influences from some other things. I don't want to reel too much. But it's going to be very, very interesting. Make sure you all hop in for episode 1 because it's going to start with a bang. But in the coming weeks, between now and then, there's going to be a lot of stuff coming to our YouTube channel. It's really important. I cannot stress this enough that you go and subscribe to our YouTube channel because loads of stuff is coming out. Obviously, there's the Luke Gygax interview right now that you can go and see, which is very, very cool. And there is also a bunch of other interviews with other interesting creators that you might know and other games that you might not have heard of but want to get into. There's loads and loads of stuff coming. And there's some really, really good, fun content. Make sure you go and subscribe on YouTube. And then further afield, quite a bit further afield, we may be making some additional convention appearances this year. I'm not going to go into too much detail now, but stay tuned for that.
Amazing. Excellent. Thank you very much. So that about wraps up all the announcements, apart from we now have a website. So for all of that information that you've just heard and more, then you can now head over to talesontap.co.uk. You can find all the information about previous sessions. You can get a little bit of a deep dive into Aerilon and get like the elevator pitch for the world. You can meet the cast. There's a few blurbs on there to kind of, if you're new here, you can find out more about us. There is going to be more and more added to that website as we kind of move into other different branches of content creation and things that we want to do. Like, Han wants to potentially do a blog post, and there might be merch further, like somewhere down the line, and there might be other things, but all that information can be found on the Tales on Tap website. So go over there.
Starting an OnlyFans.
Yeah. Literally.
Keep an eye out for that.
Okay.
Do you know what? That's going to get clipped.
Yep.
Chat. Do it.
Yeah,
No,
probably
don't
is.
do it. Don't do it.
So, for all that information and more, head over to talesontap.co.uk or go to social media, go to all of our platforms. You can find loads and loads of information there as well. And as always, you do not have to subscribe to this channel to come and watch us on a Tuesday. You can come and watch us for free. But if you do want to support the channel, you want to unlock some emotes and some channel badges and all that fun stuff, then hit that little purple button that's just below your screen, like just down here somewhere. And when you click that, ta-da! It unlocks those things like automatically. Now, it may cost you a little bit of money, but if you already pay for Amazon Prime, then it doesn't fucking have to, because you can connect the two accounts and it comes free. But as we say, you don't have to do it here. You can go support someone else if you want to. You can come and just watch us for free. And as Chris says, most weeks our shows are usually found in podcast form. We haven't released a couple of episodes for about 2 or 3 weeks because we've been busy, but they are on the way. It is on the top of our to-do list. So if you would like listening to us on the go, we break them down into really easy parts. We split the show in 2 parts so you can listen to them on the go, whether it's a commute to work, back from work, on the way to the pub to meet your mate Dave, whatever you're doing. So yeah, anywhere you cache your pods, you can find that information.
Plenty to catch up on in the meantime.
Yeah, exactly. And like Chris said, head over to YouTube, subscribe there, because there's loads of content there, including all of our past campaigns, one-shots, and all the upcoming UKGE content will be on there as well. So go and do the things over in that place as well. So that about wraps up all the announcements. And now I believe that everybody needs to roll me a d20 this week.
I'm gonna roll my big chunk that I got from Valkyrie.
I rolled my new dice and it was really bad.
I rolled my new dice and it was very good.
Cool.
I bet it wasn't as bad as mine.
Cool. Han, what did you get?
19.
A 19. Evan?
That one.
Ooh.
Did anyone get a 1 as well? You got a 1 as
Yeah,
well.
Natalie got one as well.
Get him out of the way, guys.
Okay, Evan and Natalie, roll again, please.
Roll
Rolling.
again. Stop doing me day. Oh, better.
What did
Evan,
you
what
get?
did you get?
Suspense.
A 2!
Oh!
I got
You're
Um,
improving. You're
yep.
improving.
Fantastic. So, Evan, I'd like you to write some notes for me this week, please. And you will be...
Could I use my halfling luck?
No.
Cool. So, that about wraps up all the announcements. Should we play some D&D?
Let's
Yeah,
do
go
it.
for it.
Yeah,
Cool.
Let's do it.
So you guys and girls and people at home, just get yourselves comfortable, relax, because we're about to dive into this week's episode of Tales on Tap, I think we're called, or something like that.
Tales
Tales
on tap, on tap, on tap. Tales on tap.
Watch this
Tales on
cool
Tap.
intro.
The Dread Sultan of Celasta is here, and he made a show of it. Full fleet of ships, cannon fire and all. But it doesn't seem to be an attack, just a flex. We retreat into the tree. Kyria made Eddie invisible that I didn't know she could do. Something to do with a weave. Anyway, Eddie went to keep an eye on the manor, Malgrave Manor. We are shown a house that we can rest in. In the night... No, sorry. The night goes slowly. A rare moment to breathe. Pim cooks, Kyria bathes, and me and Virgil talk. It's nice to see him relax a bit. Later, Finian joins us for dinner, after which he leaves. I head out to train with and get to grips with my club. The list of names that are fast becoming a ritual rather than habit fall from my lips. Eddie returns and tells us the people arrived at the manor, but shortly disappeared via some form of magic. This is where the night changes. The talk becomes leave the city or revolution. Revolution. A dream me and Damon had talked about for years. This is something I wanted, something I do want. But now things are different. The ship leaves in 3 days. The chance to get back home, my pride. Damn it. I don't know what to do. I love these people. But I can't. No. I won't stay. If that means missing the ship. Until then, I'll do my best to get the city to a better place. And I hope with every bit of my soul the plan works. I don't want to leave us.
There we are.
Nice.
So, we pick up tonight's session in the Druid's Grove in the centre of Winmere. Now, for those of you that have caught the last couple of sessions, you'll know that this Druid's Grove isn't located in the central city itself, but within an extra-planar space within a tree in the botanical gardens of the High City. The group have been there a day. They were forced to go there after Kyria was taken out by Tanner. What do we think is going to happen next? Will the Dread Sultan open fire upon the innocent lives within the city of Winmere? Will the group manage to find enough evidence in time to bring Malgrave to justice? Well, we pick up tonight's session at the break of day, as the sun crests over the horizon, bringing light and warmth to the world. Some of you begin to start waking from your slumber. However, Edivir, you find yourself stood
Oh, fuck.
in the city of Winmere, walking through its streets on a bright summer's day, your hood down, no eyes past yours, people going about their daily business. You feel calm and relaxed, as if all that worldly burden that you've been carrying around has dissipated. Is this a premonition? Or just a vision of what you wish the world would be? You don't feel the fear for your life, or the fear of capture, that imminent shadow looming over you. You find yourself in the marketplace within the middle city, corralling yourself and meandering through the stalls, going from stall to stall, picking up groceries and admiring the wares on offer. You catch a glimpse of yourself in the reflection of a nearby window. You're not wearing your usual clothing, you're wearing quite common clothing, with no knives or gauntlets on your waist or wrist. But you seem a little older too. Only slightly. But you're walking through the city carefree. As you take in your surroundings though, you hear an unfamiliar sound. But one is unfamiliar to most, but you've heard this before.
Okay.
The unmistakable sound of sand shifting as if being trodden on. Tiny grains of sand, billions of them, careening off each other. As if a wave of such. In that next moment, you hear a crash against the city walls. You turn and look as this huge wave of sand begins careening over the walls and into the city. Your heartbeat begins to race. You're stuck, frozen in that moment, as this almost huge wall of sand begins to approach, engulfing buildings and streets and bodies with little to no effort. As the city itself and this wall of sand begins to engulf everything around you and starts moving at a fast pace towards you, until suddenly you are also engulfed, your breath taken, as you bolt upright in your bed.
Okay.
And as you bolt upright in your bed, a small black feather falls off your chest onto your lap.
Edivir just kind of, once he sort of gets back in the room a little bit, and he looks down and sort of, kind of with the back of his hand, just sort of brushes the feather off his leg. Looks quite confused. And he just picks it up and looks at it.
Mhm.
You say it was a black feather?
Yes.
I'll sort of look around the room to see if there's like windows and stuff like that. Or
There is a window, but it is shut.
he'll get up and start sort of getting ready for the day. And as he puts on his leather armor pieces and stuff like that, he'll just tuck the feather into the shoulder, like the chest pocket bit.
As you begin getting yourself ready, you have this remarkable thirst. Like your mouth is completely dry.
Yeah, so he's just kind of like, I'll take out the decanter of endless water, and I'll say, gotta get the right word, otherwise I'm getting blasted in the face. Don't want to end up like Bane. I will say stream.
Okay.
I'll begin to have some water. I'll slip that back in my own thing, and I'll head out to sort of go wake everyone up, because Eddie's an early riser, so...
Yep. You begin walking around, knocking on doors.
I'll go to Kyria last.
Yep. I assume
Thank
so.
you. They are still exhausted.
The rest of you wake at the knock of the door from Edivir, and as you begin to rise and gather your belongings, you prepare yourself for the day and get yourselves dressed, and you begin...
As you walk out... As you walk out outside to wake Timothy up, you see that he's already by the rose bush that his mum created, and he's trimming a few petals and leaves that seem to be just to spruce it up a little bit.
You definitely are a friend of plants.
And then, well, yeah, it's apparently a gift from my mum.
What?
She and Dad were here not too long ago.
Oh, sorry, I don't think I...
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
No, to be fair, I didn't know it until yesterday. But I thought I'd leave it nice, you know. Leave a place better than what you found it.
Yeah, well, you've done a good job. I mean, I don't know about these things, but what's this called?
Well,
I'm joking, and I've shown the picture of the rose on my chest. It's like, don't worry, I know what it is. I'm just putting it in your deck.
I was about to say a lily just to fuck with you, but
Don't ever lie to me.
who says I haven't already?
Fair enough. I look forward to finding out.
As you...
I'm hungry. You hungry?
Very.
You all get dressed, apart from you, Kyria. Even through the knock at the door, it doesn't wake you immediately. It stirs you, but you kind of like open your eye, like, nope, 10 more minutes at least. Like, but the rest of you gather your belongings, get dressed for the day, and reconvene within the dining room of this small house that you've been living in for the last 24 hours. Finian, however, is nowhere to be seen.
Oh. While we're waiting for breakfast to cook and for Kiri to wake up, can I get a little bit more time in trying to sort this wrist crossbow out?
Certainly, yeah. So go ahead and make me a Tinkerer's tool check, please. Because I would assume that even through breakfast and over the next hour, you're going to be trying to tinker and get this fixed, right?
Yep.
Cool.
Yep. So that's 11 plus 6 for a 17.
That is a success. So that's 3 successes. So at this point, you are now working on the release mechanism and kind of the tension, because you're, you know, through fixing it, and it doesn't quite do it as effectively as you'd like. It was too slack, then you've had to tension it up, and you then release the mechanism, but it's too taut. It's not holding the tension of the bow as best as you like. But that is 3 successes, I believe, now.
That is, yeah.
Yeah, cool. So it's almost there, but there's a few little bits that you need to now get on, because you need the where you kind of put the arrow and that kind of thing, just to kind of get those last little bits done. But you're almost there.
Yeah, cool. Because I'm trying to want to make it almost like sort of concealed within the bracer, so that I can press a button and it's pops out.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
Excellent.
So is just sort of tinkering away with that, with it on his wrist while everything's being done.
As Virgil wakes to the knock on the door from Edivir and kind of rubs his eyes and realizes that today is the day we have to potentially start revolution, he looks towards the scale mail and the buckler and the staff that he sort of rested against the desk and just... Protector. Right, okay. And then for the next sort of like 10 minutes kind of fusses through armor and realizes like, no, this strap goes here, that one goes there, that's fine, and sort of like shakes into a little bit and sort of tries to get it comfortable, and then pulls up the bigger jumpsuit, sort of ties it around the center, puts one arm through one side and sort of fastens the buckler to it, and then leaves one side down and sort of hanging a little bit to the side, takes up the staff and just sort of stares at himself in the mirror for a second. Sort of like feels the weight of things, just sort of like, bravery. I have magic. I have a deity. Sure, why not? We can do this. This is fine. I can, yes. And makes his way downstairs in this sort of new-ish look, sort of slightly armored, slightly not. But as he comes down, he sort of ties off the head scarf he had sort of wrapped around the thing. So there's a little bow and sort of like little knot / bow on the front, and
Obsessed.
yeah, walks into the kitchen and just, morning everyone, morning. Doesn't realize where to put the staff and just places it against a wall and then comes to sit down.
This is a new look for you.
Yes, well, I don't suppose I can really go into battle in just my best day wear, can I? So I need a little bit of protection.
I like it. Suits you.
Well, if I'm going to help protect you all, then I need to protect myself, don't I? So let's do this. Are we ready? Are we feeling good this morning? Are we? What's we planning?
Been ready.
Ah, good. Pim, what's for breakfast? I'm starving. Please tell me it's
bacon.
Oh, thank God for that. I need bacon in the morning for revolution.
I'm going to roll a deception check, DM, just because...
Oh, don't break Leanna's heart, because Leanna's eyes light up when you say bacon.
That's vegan bacon.
What did you get?
I think I have a... What do I have? Persuasion, I have a -1, but I do get a D4, so it's an 18.
An 18. You guys think there's bacon on the way, although it doesn't smell like bacon in the air, weirdly. But
it is, to be fair, mushrooms that I've just made really crispy.
I knew it was going to be mushrooms.
So, Kyria, after about 10 minutes of refusing to let the day come to you, you realise that you can't get back to sleep, and that regardless how tired you are, things need to be done. Yeah.
I think Kyria kind of wakes up and brushes, like, like the crusty, the little crusty bits you get from your eyes, especially when you've like fallen asleep crying. Like they kind of like wipe those before like uncrumpling the letter, which has very much been like tossed and turned with them as they've slept, and looks over it again and again before kind of taking a deep breath for themselves. Okay. It's a new day. It's fine. Just got to make a difference. And then we can go. And kind of gathers all of their stuff up and heads to meet everybody.
Sorry, but Chris, were you nynning or humming to yourself? And I'm feeling good. I just saw you go with a head shake.
Something.
Okay. Pim, you successfully cook breakfast. You provide it to everybody. You all sit down at the breakfast table and begin to discuss your plans. As you are 3-4 mouthfuls in, the door to the property opens and shuts. A moment later, Finian rounds the corner, hood down, and just goes, "Morning. How are we? Ready?"
Very.
As I'll ever be.
Good.
Where have you been?
I don't really like sleeping indoors that often. It kind of makes me feel a little, I don't know, suffocated. So I just
Were you
slept
sleeping
outside.
by the tree?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see you.
Yeah. That's an old habit. I tend to try not to let people see me when I sleep.
Well,
you know,
you are really good, to be fair, because I'm quite perceptive. And
did you look up?
oh,
I mean,
Yeah.
you've got a lot of enemies up there, so you probably want to start looking up a bit more.
Pim's
I look that high up. I don't look.
Anyway.
I'll keep my eye out for the pigeons, don't worry.
Well, look, I've been doing some thinking, and maybe I was a little rash with what I said last night in terms of kind of stamping on a couple of ideas. I didn't mean to stamp so hard, but like, we just have to be realistic with what we can achieve in such short a space of time. So, look, whatever you guys think is the best course of action, so be it. All right? We'll move together as a unit, and we will get whatever we need to achieve done. But if, in the face of adversity, if I sense that things aren't going as well as they could be, I'm going to say something. Is that all right?
And
Right.
I'm sorry if I came across too.
Should we tape
I
his
got
mouth now?
I got excited. I maybe a bit too excited. So I didn't mean to, come across as though it was my idea or everybody else is an arse. That's not what I meant. I was just trying to say that in order for me to feel comfortable going, I want to at least have tried to do something first. And if that doesn't work, then we still go. It's not safe here for us, and I can accept that. There are just some things that I want us to try and do first.
I think that's a good plan.
It's admirable you try so hard, darling. More so than most of us. I apologize to all of you for potentially seeming like the one who's always shooting down plans as well. I'm not intentionally trying to stop you from doing what you need to do. I just don't want us to die in the process. So I
Too
try.
soon, Virgil.
I know, I'm sorry. It's just, I can't help it. I'm just not very good at talking, okay?
Well, let's kind of get down to business. We can talk over breakfast, but we don't have very much time. We have a lot to try and achieve. So, what's the plan?
Well, I know you said that these things, we've got very minimal time to do them, but if we're able to at least set things in motion quickly enough, then these things tend to snowball. Once one stream joins another stream, it becomes a river quite quickly. So, we've got a lot to achieve. Very little time to do it. We need to prioritize and we need to split up.
Yay.
I know that's not an
Okay.
idea that people are often too happy about. I'm one of those people.
It's
I know.
gone really well for me so far.
Well, as long as we're all playing to our strengths and we all know what the plans are, we should be okay.
And let's maybe not leave anybody on their own when enacting these plans. If that has gone poorly before now, I think let's.
Well, there are
if we
6 of us, so we can.
We'll have a buddy system.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
It's when
Basically, everybody has a buddy. You have a friend with you all the time.
It's like a 2-on-2 fight. You have someone backing you up.
I mean, it's one of the more wholesale ways of putting it. It's more like, okay, yeah, sure, that.
Cool. Then let's do the buddy system. What are we doing? Where are we going? What are we doing?
So we need to find the right people. We need to start getting the truth out there in the right places. And I personally think that Moore and Essen are good leads for that.
Okay, so
That's
2
good.
people go to Moore and Essen.
We also need to find someone on the council. Someone who will have a sympathetic ear. Perhaps an enemy of Malgrave's, who suspects him already.
Yes, I was thinking as such. We need to find an elected official or someone who necessarily won't need to trust us, but hates Lord Malgrave enough for us to give the information we have and use it against him to maybe at least stymie his initial get into this council.
Okay, so that is in the higher city. So whoever's doing that needs a way to be able to move through the high city without being recognized.
Well, you can do that, can't you?
I can do that. Can any of you do
I
that?
think I probably have. I don't know. I used to be able to, but it's I'm in a bit of a transitional period at the moment, but I will do my best.
Well, I do think that
of all of us, I have the best. I'm trying to think. I've lost my words completely.
Okay, so
I do think that you have a point
for something like that.
You have a point, Virgil, because your glow up, essentially, I think is probably the best way to do it, because in your description at the wanted posters, you're described as very much not what you currently are.
okay.
That's true.
Nobody's looking for a cleric or for a wizard in a cleric.
Okay. Cool. So there's 2. So we've got Moore and Essen. We've got the High Judge or someone on the council or something that we could try and lean on. What else?
We have the politics, we have the people. What we don't have is the muscle. If it's needed.
I mean, I'm not great with the politics or the people. I don't really know anyone apart from maybe the fighters at the arena. I mean, I could try and find either my house or maybe another house to try and get into and talk to the fighters. I know me and Damon spent a lot of time talking about this sort of thing and how we wish this sort of thing would happen. So if that is a sentiment that others share in my position, then maybe that's a resource we can tap into.
Yeah, most likely. There's also a chance maybe speaking to... Maybe we can have a quick talk to Thalia, see if there are any druid connections. I can also talk to her quickly about maybe mum and dad. If they spent time in the city, then maybe they have other contacts.
So if you and me join up and we do the druids first, since we're already here, and then head out
And then move on to
see if we can find some fighters.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's also a chance that other followers of Milani are in the city. When we went to the Briscoeline's bakery, Burhund seemed to recognize my tattoo, which is the mark of Milani. So if he recognized it, then maybe there is some presence in the city. I made these and I pull out all of Virgil's paper that I stole. Oh no, wait, I asked him for it. Never mind.
Yeah.
I'm turning a loogie. And it's just
Just see a single tear roll down one eye.
it's just lots of pieces of paper with the symbol of Milani on it. It's like if Moore and Essen can recommend to us a safe place to gather, we might be able to direct followers to that place. I know that they'll be willing to join the fight. That's what we do. And Liana, your friends, your fellow fighters, if I'm remembering correctly, you said some of them were not necessarily in that position of their own free will.
Yes,
That's-
I know. Certainly I wasn't, and I presume we didn't really talk about our origins as much, but I presume there were others that were taken from their homes as well. So,
Well, anyone in that position is usually willing to join the righteous fight for liberation. So,
Okay. Well, it seems like we have a plan. So, Pim, you and Liana are going to go speak to Thalia, then go to the gladiatorial ring. Virgil, you and I are going to go into the High City and try and find a council member that we can sway to our side. And Bumblebee and Edivir, you're going to go into the lower city to Moranessin and try and bring them to our cause.
yeah, and establish a safe meeting place for us to gather these forces.
Okay. So, when enacting plans like these, we need some hard ground rules as to the amount of time we spend away from each other so that we have a time that is comfortable and a time that is uncomfortable to be apart. I say that it's break of day. We could probably do most of this by mid-afternoon. To be safe mid-afternoon. That buys us enough time to get to and from across the city, do what we need to do. But I've passed Thalia this morning. My bargain with them was only to allow one night here. So we could potentially meet back here, but we need somewhere else to lay low after that. So my suggestion is, as the sun starts to set in the sky and afternoon turns to evening, we meet back here, and then as a group make our way to whatever safe haven we can within the city. Now, I do have somewhere, but it is only for emergencies. Okay? If worse comes to worse and we just need a place to lie low, then I can provide that. But
What about the Were-Rat tunnel? We cleared that out, right?
we're gonna need somewhere a bit more comfortable than a tunnel. We need somewhere that we can prepare, keep well rested, provisioned. I have such a place. It's an attic room, but it would comfortably fit the six of us in.
not in the mark, right?
No.
Good.
The where? The mark. The
Tanner's.
Anna's mark?
No, I don't often frequent the lower city. Or the undercity, sorry.
Good.
Okay. Right, well, it seems like we have a plan. Virgil, are you ready? As you all begin to finish up breakfast.
Do we need to know the location to meet you there? I mean, I could go around searching
Yeah.
every attic.
We'll meet here.
Oh, we're meeting here. Oh, okay, sorry.
Unless me and Kiri are able to figure out a better meeting place for Moranessin. But
Yeah.
regardless, we'll meet here first.
Yep, because we have no way to communicate.
Just out of curiosity, what about the lodger? Is that not...
Well, I don't know what the SBC presence is like now, but when I went there last, because they know that's where I live, so that it was under heavy surveillance. I don't know if they've given up by now or what.
Well, if the posters are anything to go by, it might be even heavier now.
Yeah.
And that news bulletin as well that, blamed us for the flux epidemic,
Well,
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see what happens. But we all have our plans. We all know what we need to do. Let's meet here this afternoon and we'll take it from there, okay?
Okay.
Mhm. Just before we all split up as well, and from a pocket, Virgil's going to pull out the calling card. Who wants to take this?
I'll have it back.
Okay.
You guys are heading into probably
Wait.
the...
No, one of you two should have it. And I look to Liana and Pim.
I actually think you're right to take it. You're heading into the high city. It's
No, but I'm in the high. We're in the high
Yeah,
city, so
I'm
I
with
don't need the
Raven.
card.
Oh,
This is
We're
the other
together.
side of it.
And
I'll
then,
take it.
yeah, I'm just thinking because I have a way of communicating. You know, I have to be close, but you guys have no way of communicating with each other or anything. So one of you take it just in case something happens.
Okay,
All right.
I'll
So-
take it.
As you stand up, Virgil,
Mhm.
I'm going to make use of another function that this program has, which is the solo chat. So I'm now going to address one person at the table. You guys at home will hear this, but the other players will not.
Who's it going to be?
So as
You said
Virgil
Virgil.
stands up, Pim,
It's not me.
It's not me
with
either.
your keen eyes, you catch Finian, and he has a longish. He kind of like his gaze rests upon Edivir, and stays on Edivir for a moment or two. Now, the gaze doesn't look in any way malicious or evil, but more of a longing stare than anything else. Only for a brief moment, but you catch it. So, as you gather your belongings, Virgil, that happens, and
What happens?
it's fine. You don't need to know,
Okay.
because you're getting your stuff.
Picking up
As
the
you
staff.
turn, the raven comes to all of you and goes, "Be safe. Watch out for each other, and I'll see you later on this afternoon." Are you ready, Virgil?
Yes, as ready as I'll ever be. It's our first excursion. This is going to be fun, isn't it?
Sure. Yeah. Have you?
As
Oh,
we
don't
both
look so
kind of like,
confused. I know I'm not your favourite, but for
No,
God's
it's
sake,
not
at
about
least try
that.
and
Like,
look
and
at
as this conversation,
Oh.
this bickering conversation happens as they leave the room, that leaves the four of you in there.
Did Virgil get more posh overnight, or was that just me?
No, my mic's better, sorry.
He's always sounded like that to me. Big words and long sentences.
You're muted, Chris.
Sorry, that broke me.
Right,
Cool.
well, we should get a move on as well then.
okay, you guys gonna be okay?
I'm ready to go.
Stop laughing. This is a serious time.
Sorry, it's an adventure.
That's the spirit.
We're going on an adventure.
You're more
Oh
American.
God, the Hobbit. The Hobbit is doing the Hobbit.
I have a right
Oh, yeah,
to
sorry,
say this.
Legally distinct.
Legally distinct.
And we've
Very
had that.
clear, man.
Yeah, we've had that on good authority by the man himself. Cool. You
You've seen
all.
the court documents.
Yep. You all head out in your separate directions. Pim.
as we leave the portal and Kyria, Edivir, Liana, and Pim separate.
So they won't, because Pim and Liana are going to stay in the portal in the.
Oh, okay. Well,
grove,
then
aren't they? Yeah.
as we leave, Edivir
Yeah.
is just going to turn to Liana. Just go, hey,
Yes?
just like beckons you over. And he just says, I'm not going to be there to stop them if they decide to take you again. So take this. And he gives you the potion of aqueous form. Don't let them
What?
take you. Not again.
I appreciate the sentiment, but what does me turning into a puddle do to stop them taking me?
You ever tried to put a glass of water in a cage? Probably not, because it's a
No.
stupid idea.
That
Because it wouldn't work.
That's fair. Thank you. That was almost sweet.
Don't say that.
She
Okay.
giggles and kind of ruffles her hair. She kind of departs the other way away from the pool.
as Edivir's hair gets ruffled and he like visibly winces, he looks at Pim and he says, "Is it annoying when I do it to you?"
Yeah, how does it feel, man? Nah, I'm kidding. I like it.
Kind of patronizing, I'm not gonna lie. I'm sorry.
Damn.
No, I'm fine with it. I never fix my hair anyway, so
Look after each other.
we will.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
No. We're going to stay with Pim and Leanna as the other 4 individuals leave the grove off into the city of Windmere. What do you guys want to do?
This is your
Thalia?
domain. I'll be a backup.
Okay.
I don't think anyone here needs intimidating, but I don't think it would work either. But I mean, I could crush a plant. That might intimidate them.
Oh, please don't do that.
I will try not to. I'm very big. Sometimes my tail swings and hits. Anyway, after you.
Okay. I'm gonna have a look around, see if Thalia's outside. If not, I'm gonna go to their home.
You don't see them outside now.
Gonna go up and softly knock on the door.
A moment or two passes and the door opens, and Thalia opens the door and goes, "Ah, good morning.
Morning.
Just the 2 of you?"
Yeah. Do you have a minute?
I have many minutes. Time is just a concept. It's endless.
Well, there is something I would like to discuss with you.
Okay. Sure. Fire away.
So, I would need a favor.
Oh, I think we're all but spent on favors, Pim. Don't you?
Well, this favor comes more in terms of a question, maybe.
Questions are free. Sure. Go ahead.
Do you know if Mum and Dad had any connections apart from you within the city?
Not that I can tell, no. They, like I mentioned to you, when they were here, they were here. They spent most of their days here.
You never heard them talk about anybody else within the city? Or...
Unfortunately not, Pim, no. I don't believe so, no. Bear with me, folks. I just need to change something quickly on stream. There we go. No, unfortunately not, no. I wish
Right.
that was the case, but they were just here, unfortunately.
We think Malgrave is planning something really bad with the Dread Sultan.
Okay. What do you mean?
And well, when he first employed us, he basically spoke about how we were going to help him take down the flux manufacturing facility to
Oh, that...
basically...
Yeah, that dreadful drug that's been making its way through the city.
Yeah, he's creating it.
Okay.
And I don't know
We've
if you
found papers.
I don't know if you heard the announcement this morning. He's now blaming us for it.
Well, that is typical of people that get backed into corners and evidence starts stacking up against them. They point the finger in other directions. But
Yeah,
I
well,
don't...
the thing is that we are the only ones who have the evidence. If nobody else has them, so he's just blaming it on us. But
Okay, but
we
Pim,
think...
you're dancing around. You asked me if you could ask a question, and you've told me a story. Can you, ask away? Like, what does this have to do with me?
We need to spread the word, and we were wondering if the druids could help us do that. Or if it comes to it, help us stop him.
Thalia,
He's gonna take the whole city, and that
you
includes your
guys have
grove.
lived. You guys have lived under a dictatorship before. This is what he wants. This is what we don't want. And for that, I'm told we need people. You are a force to be reckoned with when together. we want to know if you can help us with that.
And as far as I'm aware, you're the only people that I can call my own here.
Yana looks a little bit hurt by that.
As much as I can appreciate the gravity of the situation, and my fighting days are long, long done. I live here in peace. The only reason that I let you stay here last night was because I owed Finian a favor. He helped me with something, and now that debt is repaid. But me
So what if I'll owe you a favor?
I don't like people that are indebted to me, but this wouldn't be the only favor that you owe me, would it? And she kind of like smiles a little bit.
Well, no questions asked favor.
I'll see what I can do. I can't make any promises. My connections in the city are scarce because I keep it that way. The sanctity of this place is kept a secret for that reason alone. If everybody knew of me and of this place, then, you know, the level of protection that it affords me would be lessened. Now,
I can appreciate that.
I like you guys, okay? Yes, you make stupid decisions and you get yourselves into predicaments that are probably way out of your hands, but you seem like good people. I'll see what I can do. There are a couple of people in the city I might be able to talk to. But if it's a fight that you're after, I can't be on the front lines with you.
There is
Liana,
no need to. We just want people to be informed.
I'll do what I
Revolution
can.
doesn't need to be about fights.
We call
friend told
ourselves
me
the
that.
unseen servants. You don't have to be seen to help. And as an unseen force, as you've already said, that you are very scarcely known about, it does give actually us the upper hand. If Malgrave and the others who are working against us don't know about you, don't know that you're a possible resource. Sorry, I went a bit intelligent there.
I understand, and that's an amazing philosophy to live by, but like I said, I'll do what I can, but I'm not making any promises. Okay?
That's okay.
I live a solitary life. I like my life. I rarely put my neck out for people because people rarely put their neck outs for me. Okay? It's just the way the world is. Now,
That's about to change.
well, let's hope so, because the world that you talk of seems like a marvelous place, and I can't wait to see it. I'll do
You
what I
should come
can.
home at some point. When this is all over, we're gonna have a festival.
I'd like that. Make sure you send my invitation here, because I'm not going anywhere. This is my home, and I will do everything I can to protect it. Now, if what you're saying is right, and this Malgrave person intends to do harm to my home, well, that then becomes another conversation entirely, doesn't it?
That it does. Thank you, Thalia.
I
Okay.
appreciate both your honesty and your reluctance to be fair. It means you're taking this seriously. I would appreciate if you can think about it and maybe talk to some others here. We also need a place to meet up. It will be today. I know I will not trample on your offer, but we won't be staying again. That's not what I'm asking. But just to meet up with the rest of us at the end of today as the sun goes down.
Okay.
You'll permit that?
Fine. I will. But as soon as night falls, I will be changing the word of entry to this place, and you will no longer be allowed access.
Fair.
And I warn you, though, Just as easy as I permit people here, I can just as easy unpermit them.
Yes, ma'am.
Do not bring trouble to my doorstep.
We will try our best.
Nope,
And
that is not good enough. You will not bring trouble to my doorstep. You're going
You
to
will
have to
not
do better
bring
than your
trouble.
best.
And she
Right.
reaches her hand forward and shakes it. Oh,
Just
she
shakes,
reaches
just your own
for a
hand.
shake. Yes,
What?
she reaches for a shake.
Talia shakes your hand, and as you reach out your hand, Pim, she shakes yours, and just kind of like pulls you in a little bit closer and goes, "Be careful. Next time you turn into something quite bad, I might just leave you that way."
I'll find the balance.
Good lad. Now, you did just disturb my porridge, so if you don't mind.
Of course. There's some vegetarian bacon.
No, thank
well.
you. And she just shuts the door, and the door slams shut.
I've never met a druid that doesn't like vegetarian bacon.
It did taste very unbacon-like.
I'll work on it. I've never had bacon.
So what was that this morning?
Vegetarian bacon.
That doesn't answer my question.
That isn't
We
the thing.
leave.
It was protein. And I walk away.
Uh-huh.
Okay. As you guys make your way
Just
to the
left a
portal
scratch on her head, yeah.
and step through the portal into the higher city, we join Virgil and Finian as you are walking through. And as soon as you both step through the portal, Finian kind of disguise self into what looks to be quite an aristocratic gentleman with a cane. Handlebar mustache kind of curled round on his cheeks, top hat tilted to one side, like a very like long black blazer that kind of
Stand
comes down.
user. I know a stand user when I see one.
And his voice also changes as he turns to you and he goes, "So it's not that I don't like you as much as everyone else, Virgil, but we've never really had the opportunity to get to know one another."
I'm pretty sure you're just mocking me at this point, but that's fine. I appreciate the upper, the higher register, the less, common talk. It's fine. We can actually have nice conversations now.
Well, it's
Wonderful, isn't it?
It suits the facade, you see. So, illusion is as illusion does. Now, this government official or this council member, do you have any inkling as to where we might find one?
No, but I'm thinking if we get ourselves a newspaper or find some information about who may be opposing Malgrave within the tabloids, we can start there. We need to find someone who likes them as little as possible. Maybe a few of them. I don't really know much about the politics of this city, how it works, who would be best to talk to in this situation, because I am a wanted criminal after all.
Well, there are a couple of places that we might be able to go to. The council hall might be the first stop. Though I find it difficult to imagine that we might be granted audience with one of the council members of the city, but you never know. One of the lower ranking council members might be passing by and we might be able to grab them for a moment. But I think you are onto something. You see, not everybody is going to be in favour of Malgrave taking power. There will be those who are in a juxtaposition and opposing that. That's wrong, right? I saw a hand.
No.
Yeah. You
It's
can
the
correct me
right
later. It doesn't
word,
matter.
it's the
Yeah,
wrong
fuck it. Doesn't matter.
context.
Doesn't matter. We're moving on. Doesn't matter. I don't care. So we could find a newspaper on the way.
All right, the council hall it is, and then we'll see who we can find. And as Virgil tries to, Finian, can I have your attention for a moment, please, Finian?
Sorry, I was just telling Kyria from a distance to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I can see from the other one.
Yeah, no, I'm joking.
No. As he watches Finian try to do the sky self, obviously Virgil sort of starts weaving magic, but it's not quite the same as he used to. Like, no, I can't. I don't suppose you'd be able to disguise me by any chance, would you?
No.
No,
Unfortunately not. But you do look almost entirely different to how you did yesterday. I must say, I like this. The armor suits you. You carry it well. You're not used to shields,
Thank
though,
you,
are
Tia.
you? Because you're swinging. It's not a satchel that you hold it firm in front of you. It's supposed to be. There's a crest on there that you're supposed to be proud of. The crest. The staff. You can do what you like with.
It's very heavy. Have you actually ever held one? Like my arms used to spell casting, not metal.
Well,
It's fine. I'll sort it out. Just
If it,
yes.
it's designed to protect you. If it wasn't heavy, it wouldn't do that job, would it?
I mean, when knives come towards me, I'll hold it up in front of me and hope to the gods that it hits that and not my softer parts. But apart from that, I can't really do much. I'm not built for this. I'm really not. I live in books, Finian. I don't live on the battlefield.
Well, we're going to have to change that because there will be many battlefields ahead, and you need to get used to it. You know how do you know the easiest way I found of just doing that?
How?
Just run in. What are you going to do afterwards? You're going to have to either live or die. Like, just put yourself in a position where you've got to do one or the other, and just choose which one you'd prefer to do. Typically, you choose live, right? So therefore, your choices then, from that point, will be in that vein.
Sure. Okay. Live or die. Fine. I will just headlong into all the danger that comes my way. Reckless disregard for anything regarding my own health.
Yep.
That's how you live your life, Finian. In the shadows, away from people, not in danger, that kind of thing.
Yep. And I'm doing just fine.
No, I can tell. Oh no. And as we're walking, having this conversation, I'm going to start looking for, I don't know, like nice cafes where people are having croissants and coffee, because this is the upper city.
Yep.
And just places like, I don't know if there's paper boys, just like, throwing them around. I don't know what this place is like.
Sure, let's say there is, as you kind of walk past a cafe where people are having croissants and coffee.
My friend. I imagine there's like an accordion somewhere.
Yeah. Let's say there is.
Cool.
You see on the opposite side of the street, there is a young boy stood on a box with newspapers. Skyhaven newsprint! Get him early, get him quick! Malgrave runs for office! Dread Sultan arrives! Today's news only!
I'm going to look to Finian just because I don't know how recognizable. I know I look slightly different, but Virgil is still very much himself. He's going to look to Finian as we're just sort of jauntily walking through the promenade, and just sort of look to him and just sort of nod towards the papers to see if he can go get one.
Finian just kind of goes, I'm sorry, a man of my stature does not fetch one's own newspapers. Toodle pip.
Well, I'm a man of the cloth, and generally speaking, we don't take orders from the higher-ups. So if you want your own news, Finian, have at it.
We're going to have a grand old day. And he just
Oh,
turns on his heels, marches over, gets a paper and walks back, and goes, there, that wasn't so difficult. Did you acclimatise
thank you
for
very
your...
much. I couldn't really make a fuss about it.
As you go to reach for the newspaper, he kind of recoils a little bit and goes, no? And just wafts it open in front of you, and like, as it wafts, it kind of hits you a little bit in the face as he kind of like peers over the top of it at you and just kind of smiles and begins to read it.
As he does, there's like, you know how to read, right? Just making sure.
Which one, read or write? I can do both.
Okay, good. As long as you're okay with that.
Okay, yes. Sure, you can do that. And he just hands you the newspaper after getting like half a column down, and just like kind of turns and begins to like walk off.
As I'm assuming Finian's going to... Is he walking sort of like through the street as to not draw attention to himself?
No, he's disguised. He's not like hiding in the shadows. He's in the middle of the street with you.
So as Virgil sort of opens the paper while walking, keeping a small-ish distance from Finian, using prestidigitation, he's just going to create like a few small tattoos on his face just to change up the how he will look normally. So he's just going to put a few sort of stars coming down from the one eye, and then maybe a little bit of like arcane text above an eyebrow, and just sort of like put a bit of fake tattooery on his face with the prestidigitation while he's reading, just to blur himself out. And then, yeah, as the whole thing about Malgrave getting into the thing, he's just going to read that through, start picking out names for council members who oppose it, people who are happy about it, dignitaries, higher ups who don't like his presence.
Okay, so you find 2 names. It is reported that Marison Willowbrook, so that's Marisyn, Marison.
Oh, so close, yep.
Willowbrook, who is the council member who is in charge of agriculture and trade, oversees food supply and market regulations.
Cool.
And there is also Garrick Blackthorn.
Hold on. Yep.
Who is the council member and master of commerce and finance, who is responsible for the city's treasury and economic policies, who is going to be opposed to Malgrave, because Malgrave is saying that he wants to bring commerce back to the city. So there is a statement in there from Garrick, words to the effect of the fact that Malgrave's statement suggests that the city's economical climate is in turmoil is something that I find completely disgusting. I do not support Malgrave's ascension to the council.
Yeah, cool. Is there any sort of reading further from that? Is there any more news on say like sort of SBC movement about the warehouse, things of that nature? Just sort of as I read further in, trying to stick away from like the fluff pieces, the happy news.
Nothing different to what you heard in the news article that came over last night.
Okay, cool. As we continue walking, sort of, I assume the slow pace, just he folds it up and puts it under one arm. Okay, we have two names that we could go for. I don't know if any of them mean anything to you. Marison Willowbrook, the council member of agriculture and trade, and then Garrick Blackthorn, the treasurer. They both oppose him quite vehemently. Blackthorn more than Willowbrook.
So Blackthorn has been on the council for some time, but I do know that Lady Willowbrook is the latest member to the council. They came into power 6 months ago. So for somebody, if you were to look at longevity on the council, her position would be at risk more than those long-standing members, I would imagine.
Okay.
Two good names. I don't know them, I've never met them in person, but if they do hold sway over the wider council, that is a good place to start.
I think Blackthorn. People don't like to lose money. Treasurers don't like to have things shifted. If Malgrave's creating this bigger disturbance within the city, he will be very happy to try and have any information.
So what evidence do we have to sway Blackthorn to our side? We need something that incriminates Malgrave in the realm of commerce. Now, the Dread Sultan arriving on our shores yesterday surely is a sign that trade deals are being done behind the council's back and promises are being made. So I would say Blackthorn is probably the best start, but Willowbrook isn't a bad shout. But if we can bring both of them to our side, then that is sway in the council chamber. But we need a way to be able to gain an audience with them. Any ideas?
Yes. Outside of throwing myself before them and saying, hello, look at me, I'm the one they're blaming for the flux. I'm actually trying to stop it, and I have all the information from the warehouse at my disposal, the manifestos, the recipe book, letters.
The manifestos, did any of those manifestos, did they dictate that the goods came from outside the city or outside Skyhaven?
Yes, it was the Ilarian Alchemical Company, I think. I'd have to look through them again, and we also have knowledge that Or was it Black Brew was working with them, taking them in? There's also Tanner Alaria from the lower cities.
If we can provide evidence that there's been trade deals been made outside of the council's realm, especially these high council members, then that is worthy enough to gain an audience. But they have to be signed. This has to be foolproof, because if they think that we're just trying to depose somebody who's trying to get in power because we don't, for one reason or another, I think we leave you being associated to this out of it until is absolutely necessary. Council members don't often like dealing with criminals, and at this point in time, you are a criminal. In the eyes of the law.
In the eyes of the law, yes, but there are also ways around proving innocence and finding out what my actual purposes were. There is magic for that. There is ways into my mind. I would allow it if it meant we could walk free. And this was to end. So that is a last-ditch effort, I understand.
Yeah, I was going to say, let's make that a plan C. Let's firm up plan A and B first, and then we can move to that as a last resort. But
well,
look. The council hall opens at 9. We have an hour before that opens. So let's find a bench somewhere. You can peruse your documentation. I can get a croissant. Is that what you just called it as we walk past? Because those pastry things look delicious.
I'd suggest a pain au chocolat, perhaps.
I don't know what that
perhaps
means.
A cinnamon roll, but
again, I don't know what that means. Do you? I tell you what. Let's
go. You hear from across
you
the
know what cinnamon is, right?
A synonym?
A synonym. Okay, cool. Let's go get some pastries, because for God's sake, I have been needing something sweet for weeks. Let's go get something sweet and a bit of coffee, and let's go sit down and get our documents in order. How about that, Finian? It's like a little morning date. I like it.
I liked the sound of that up until that bit.
What's wrong with me? Oh, right, I'm not Bumblebee, of course.
No, that's you taking this the wrong way. You're just Virgil. You're not
pulling your leg, Finian. I'm pulling your leg. I'm just having a bit of fun with you. This is how I do it. I'm sarcastic. I'm dry. I often don't know, what people find funny and what they don't.
I can teach you if you like.
I don't know. Well, you can try. If you can be taught to be funny, then I'm in desperate need of that.
Yes, you are.
Otherwise,
let's go and get some pastries. And he just kind of like walks with you. Meanwhile, we're going to kind of fast forward a little bit as Kyria and Edivir, you make your way through the tunnels into the lower part of the middle city, the Artful Lodger, about a 20-minute walk from where you are.
Yeah.
So Edivir is being very serious about the whole thing and is checking his corners and sort of going like, okay, it's clear. Kyria, no, this way.
Oh, sorry. You can see like Kyria keeps looking at this piece of paper, like crumpled piece of paper in their hand, and like that's why they keep like continuing to walk and not notice when you're like guiding them in a particular way. I'm like, sorry, no, I know, I've got to focus. Yeah.
Focus up. You can read whatever you've got there when we get there.
It's from them.
Oh. Is there anything I need to know about before we go there, or?
No,
Okay.
Well, so Mr. the Raven did me a favor and delivered a letter for me to them. And I might have been a bit... Well, I wouldn't say I was rude. I just wasn't, my usual stars, sunshine, rainbows. Like I normally am with my letters, and I only dotted one I with a heart, so they probably know that something's up. The response was lovely though, so it should be fine. I should probably disguise myself, right?
Yeah. We'll keep as low key as we possibly can, but when we cross the road towards the lodger.
Yeah.
You okay?
I feel I'm scared, but not about this whole thing. I'm scared about seeing them.
Yeah, I can understand how that might feel. Do you feel like you've let them down somehow, or?
I feel like Okay, I don't want to be an awful person for saying this, but I feel like they've let me down, and I don't know how to express that upset in a healthy way.
Right. I mean, I'm probably not the best person to ask for advice on that kind of thing. Usually when people upset me, I handle it a certain way, which I wouldn't recommend doing in this case.
No, I would get in a lot of trouble. No, I don't need advice. I'll figure it out as it happens. I'll be okay.
Yeah, you will. Just, if you feel the need to address it. If not, then there'll be time once all this is done.
I should probably say, just because it will probably come up, don't tell anybody else that, the figure I spoke about.
Yeah. The one in the other place.
It was my brother.
You have a brother?
Apparently, and just begins to walk fast-paced.
Edivir does, like, kind of not follow you for a bit and is, like, thinking for a moment. And then he sort of snaps out of what he's doing and goes, oh, fuck. Follows after you, like, catches up and then, like, sort of gets alongside you, just sort of looks down at you and then just carries on walking ahead, choosing not to address it until you're ready.
I think just like after a few moments, Kyria just kind of immediately goes, so apparently he's my brother. I don't know. Last time I saw my brother, I didn't technically see him because he was inside my mother's stomach still. And so, I don't know. That's what he claimed to be. That's how I recognized him. I don't know any more than that. He needs help. He's not very nice right now, but I think he's trapped, so he needs help. And we will deal with that when it comes to it. But don't tell the others.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay, let's go. Move on.
Guys, continue. I would like 2 perception checks and 2 stealth checks, please. So you can have one of each.
Oh, so I can't do the 2 stealths.
One perception and 1 stealth each, please.
Okay.
Right. So I am at disadvantage still for all skill checks. I am going to disguise myself as a common folk.
A common folk. Cool.
A common folk.
One of them.
Nice.
No, probably just like half elf, same height as me, probably like blonde hair, like quite long hair.
Yep.
A little bit of a mustache, because why not? And
Why
then,
not?
Yeah,
Like
why
it.
not?
Cool.
Yeah.
So you can have disadvantage on your perception, but
Yeah.
because of the aid of the disguise self, I'll allow you a flat roll on your stealth.
Awesome. Right.
I got a 14 on both.
14 on both. Thank you.
All right. I've
I
got
rolled
5
very low
for
stealth.
perception
Nice.
and a 5 for stealth.
Nice.
No,
So-
wait. Sorry, it's 7. I have plus
7.
2 for stealth.
Well, if it's a 7, that doesn't change much. Anyway, you are very vigilant. You're keeping an eye out for SBC, City Guard. Kyria, you are not in the slightest. You are in your own little world. You're kind of your head is in this letter and your brother and the impending doom that these ships towering above the city might bring. And holy shit, I'm about to see more in Essen. And how do I react? And what if they don't they're not going to recognize? So all these thoughts are just going to like through your head to the point where Edivir, you'll stop at a corner and be like looking out for City Watch, and Kyria quite often will like walk past you, and you'll have to like physically and pull them back and just kind of like look down the street and go, oh, okay, now you can go.
At one point, I just sort of grab him and I say, look, I know you're going through it, especially with what you just told me. I can totally understand. Focus on the mission. Eyes on the prize. We're not far left to go. You won't have to think about it for long. But for now, I really need you to just eyes on the prize.
Praying.
I know you are. Just go and like carry on going.
Yep. You come to the alleyway opposite the Artful Lodger, the one that you were in. I think it was like the 2nd or 3rd session when you first visited. So it's about 50 to 100 yards up the road from where the Artful Lodger is, but you're in this alleyway on the precipice of the street that the building is that provides.
Do you want to do your thing?
Yeah. Does everything look clear?
I'll look around to make sure there's no incoming patrols.
You see the back of 2 City Watch walking in the opposite direction from where you're stood, past the Artful Lodger.
Okay.
They are about 25 yards away from you.
Well, there's definitely some presence, but looks like we might have a moment clearance, so make it quick.
Okay. I will message. I'll message more.
Focus on the mission, remember.
More? It's Kyria. I'm outside. Well, we're hidden. Is it safe to come in? We need to talk to you.
Hello, darling. Can you give us a few minutes? There's just, some new lodgers that have arrived. We're just going to send them up to their rooms, but give us a few minutes. Can you come around the back, and we'll meet you in the back garden?
Okay, will do.
Are you okay? And it just cuts.
She'll meet us around the back in a couple minutes.
Okay. Are we in a more or less exposed position now than we would be in the back garden? Like, where's best to wait?
I think it's more secluded in the back garden.
The back garden's pretty built up.
Yeah.
And there's like a little grass patch as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Ready? We go on my...
I've
just gone.
No, I am waiting. Okay, so if we go around that way, I've got a break in the foliage where we can come under and into the back garden without using the gates.
Okay, cool.
It's what I used to sneak out with.
Sweet. Well, when I give the signal, you lead the way.
Okay.
And I'll wait for the guards to turn the corner off the street and make sure there's none coming the other way, and then I'll go.
Amazing. You both cross the road down the alleyway a little bit up from where you are into the back alley area of where the Artful Lodger is until you get to the very rear of this property, and Kyria shows you that there is a break that you kind of like move some of the foliage out, and there's a break in one of the the walls that you have to crawl through to get in, but Kyria just boom straight through and under and in, swiftly followed by Edivir. You're now stood in the back garden of the Artful Lodger. 2 minutes pass. 5 minutes pass.
I assume this is quite an elaborate garden with lots of rare flowers and plants and stuff like that, or
it's like not rare. They're the most commonplace, and a lot of them are just weeds, but they've been tended to like look purposeful, and there's some which are built up in into archways and stuff like that. It looks mystical, but it's real commonplace plants.
Yeah.
So Edivir is kind of investigating the plants, sniffing some of them, but looking very curious and kind of a bit confused by all of it. Like cuts a leaf off one of the things, like sniffs it a little bit. Doesn't, again, like he was in the forest, he's not used to plants too much. So that's what he's doing.
I planted those ones.
Yeah?
Yeah. I started planting them and then I forgot to cover them with soil, so then more finished, but I put the seeds in.
Wow. Impressive. What's taking them so long? We need to...
There's new lodgers in. They're taking them to their rooms.
The back door opens.
Two daggers.
Kyria hides behind Edivir.
And more steps out. Well, just kind of half steps and looks out down the garden, sees you, Edivir, and goes,
I'll step to the side.
Following.
I'll grab Kyria and pull him out from behind me.
Hello.
Hi.
Right.
It is me. I'm just being safe.
Okay.
Can we come in?
This is your home. You're always welcome here.
Is it safe?
For now, but I'd keep your voices down. There's people here that we'd never seen before. They seem trustworthy enough, but just pass us by. But I've seen the posters, so just keep your voices down. We don't want to bring any attention to you.
Okay.
It's just me here, by the way.
Where's Essin?
He's not here right now.
More?
He's just had to go and do something. He'll be back soon.
Fine. Let's go.
And you guys step through the threshold into the kind of larger pantry where the back door is, between the back door and the kitchen, and kind of more steps into this area and goes, "Are you okay? How are you holding up? Are you eating? Have you been sleeping?"
Not enough. Can we go to your room? Or mine?
Yeah, we can, but I don't really like leaving this place unattended while I'm upstairs. It's
Okay,
just me
fine.
at the moment.
No, it's fine. Okay, so, and, like, Kyria is clearly avoiding eye contact with Moore, which is a rarity. Like, very rarely will Kyria not be, like, looking intently at Moore when she's saying something, and she's just like, they're just like, okay, well, I'm just a bit worried about prying ears, is all. Obviously, you have seen the posters, you know that we're in trouble. The thing is, it's not just us that's in trouble, it's everyone. We may have to leave in order to be safe, which is why I wanted Essin here. But before we leave, and before I feel comfortable leaving, we want to make a difference, and we want to get the truth out there. Because at the moment, we are Malgrave's scapegoats. You know that posh dude who's going for the new council seat?
No?
Well, there's a new posh guy who's going for the council seat, and that will give him sway. And the Dread Sultan, that guy with the ships in the sky, he's in an alliance with Malgrave, posh guy.
Okay.
I'm looking at Edivir like, am I getting this right so far? Okay, so they're together. That could potentially mean major big news for everybody else in Winmere, because that's a potential dictatorship coming in. Basically, we are the scapegoats for now, but if we leave, who is going to be the fall guys? Next time, we want you, if you are willing, to help us get the truth out there that it is Malgrave who is responsible for the flux epidemic that's going on. Because we have proof.
If he's willing to cause so much havoc in this city, who knows what he'll do if he gets on the council.
Okay.
People like that shouldn't be in positions of power.
So, why are you telling me all this?
I'm telling you because we have been here for 100 years. Locks eye contact before pulling away again. And during that time, I am sure you have established many connections. I mean, I've had many friends who've come in and out of here over the years. Some people might be in positions where they can help spread the word. We need people to listen. We need people to be heard. And we need the truth to get out there.
So you need our help?
Only if you're willing to give it. But more, you chose our last name for us. Umantase. Of the people. It would be amiss if we missed on this opportunity to help the people now.
There are very few times where someone can stop something bad happening before it happens. Usually, a lot of people go around solving the world's problems, but we have a chance here to stop it in its tracks, cut off the head before it bites.
She kind of like... She's listening to what you're saying, Edivir, but her, like, Moore's eyes are firmly fixed on Kyria. And she just kind of, just, as almost, not like to kind of brush you off, but kind of just turns and goes, well, Kyria, you know that we love you, and that you only have to ask, and we will do anything to help you. If that means speaking to people, our friends in the city, then so be it. We will.
We need a gathering.
What kind of gathering? And now she finally turns and looks towards you.
It's all well and good getting the truth out there. It's all well and good galvanizing people, but without organization, no change can be made. A show of force. A show of the people's force. We can prove what we want to the courts or to their fellow nobles, but they all scratch each other's backs. The only people they really fear is not the individual, it's the collective. We need to show them the people of this city are not going to stand by while they play their political chess games, while everyone else dies and suffers.
Look, I will do what we can and what I can. I'll speak to Essin, I'm sure she'll agree. But we can't be the figureheads of this thing that you're trying to create, because that puts us at risk, and we've worked too long and too hard for, and she now pulls her eyes straight back to you, a sanctity, a safe haven for those who need it. We put that at risk, and everything we've worked for all these years is gone. I can't lose that.
No, and we wouldn't. I don't want you both to throw your life away again for me.
You're probably one of the only people in the world that we would do that for. Again, Kyria. So I'll do what I can. I'll get the word out. But people are only receptive when they benefit from that reception. Now, stifling a dictatorship in its kind of uprising is one thing, but common people don't often put their necks out for others unless they benefit from it.
Or it's too late.
Or it's too late. We have been here for 100 years, Kyria, yes. And in that time, we have lived through a dictatorship. We have lived through a regime. The fear of that will be enough and should be enough to rile the people of this city who stand for what is right. However, those that quite often live under the boots of others grow accustomed to that life. And what little they have, they treasure and they hold dear. They don't often want to throw away what little they have in the face of adversity. At least not in my experience. But, nonetheless, we'll do what we can. Are you really just not going to look at me? I've been sat here for days worrying, sleepless nights, wondering if you're out there, if you're not out there, what may have come of you.
I dropped herself.
The first
The shock white hair and the pupilless eyes look back at Moore.
You kind of see her recoil ever so slightly.
Edivir kind of slowly stands up from his creaky chair, kind of goes, I'm going to go check the perimeter. And he starts walking towards the door, and he turns back to Kyria and says, never that far away.
In your head, you just hear, never that far away.
A silence
I'll leave.
greets the room as you're leaving, Edivir. Moore kind of like leans in a little bit and goes, you know, it's not half bad. It suits you a lot more than the red, you know.
It was never red.
Was it not?
You really seem to think that my
Oh, it's
hair
because
is
you've
red.
got it's because you've got red hair. That's my fault.
Mother of the year.
No,
Oh.
my hair's not red.
That's my fault. It was brown.
How
That's
many
me.
times has this happened now?
3. This is like the 3rd. Like,
Maybe Kiara has red hair.
yeah. That's what it is. You're just an imposter. Yeah. Oh my GM brain. I'll start again.
Karaya has blue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I think it kind of suits you, but look, are you just... Is this what is going to become of us? You're just going to avoid us? You're going to look away? We're happy that you're out there doing what you want to do and need to do, but... Kyria, we've been worried.
I've been trying to keep you safe. I've been trying to not get you involved. I've been trying to do my own thing and do it on my own and live, and I'm not doing a very good job of it.
Darling. This is the first time I've seen you in days. And I'm shocked that the first I hear of you in 3 or 4 days is a letter from a stranger that I've never met before.
That's Mr. the Raven.
He called you, he said that you were friends and handed me this note. Essen was worried sick. Is still worried sick. So much so that... Look, Essen's health has deteriorated over the last couple of days. She's sick. Currently in bed in hospital. Now, don't worry, she's fine. They're taking good care of her, but... Kyria, the first time I see your face, you can't even look at mine. Have I wronged you so?
No, it's not you. I think I had this fear that if you saw me, you would realize that I couldn't cope on my own and realize that all the worries you had were valid and that you would ask me to hide myself away again. I know that's not what you did. I know I'm processing through a lot right now, more.
Kyria, Essen and I have made our fair share of mistakes. And what I've come to realize recently is that one of those mistakes is exactly that. We kept you hidden away. You've not been able to experience life as others have. You've been sheltered from the world, and now that you're out there and you're in it, what you're experiencing is normal. This happens to every single person, Kyria. But usually a lot sooner in their lives than what you're experiencing now. The wonderment, the danger, the not knowing, but...
Oh, okay, I thought you meant specifically, like everyone at some point in their lives gets shoved into a barrel of ale and drowns.
You what?
Yeah, that's how this happened.
So you're kind of trying not to want to put you back in your room for a while, but that is not healthy and that's not good, and Essen and I agreed that we've made a grave mistake from keeping you from the world.
Grave. That's how I was arrested. Sorry, too soon.
Look.
More, I love you.
And I love you.
And that's not changing. Yes, I have a lot of feelings at the moment, a lot of confusion, and yes, a little bit of resentment, but it's not towards you, because I understand why you both did what you did. I saw it again. I saw the moment Mum and Dad dropped me off. I relived it. I remember us running. I remember you reaching out for me.
Stop. I've spent long time putting that in a box and burying it deep away. I do not want to relive that day. Please.
Okay. I'm just saying, I know that you were there for me. I know that you've been there for me the entire time. It's not that I can't look at you, or I can't bear the thought of looking at you. It's the fact that I know that if I look at you, it could be the last time I look at you. The last time I see you again. Whether that be because we have to leave, or because if you decided that you didn't want anything to do with me anymore.
Okay, well that's stupid on two accounts. Now, you're going to see us again. Kira, you might not be our daughter by blood, but you're our daughter by bond. If anything, we've spent more time with you than your actual parents did. If we look at it in a realistic light. Like,
I mean, yes, technically 4 times more, but...
Yeah.
No.
The point I'm making is that the bonds that you make over that amount of time will last for age. Now look, you're out in the world, you're doing your thing, and it's working. You've come here you've made friends, you're alive.
Yeah.
Slightly new look on your face, but it kind of works. But at the same time, it is my job to worry. It is my job to yearn for you to be with us so that we can protect you. But I told you we've made mistakes. Maybe you're capable enough of looking after yourself. And if you're not, you're capable of surrounding yourself with people that can.
It's more the latter. Yeah.
Well, be that as it may. Tyria, no matter where you go in this world, what you do with your life, Essen and I will always be there for you. That will never change. That's what parents do.
Yeah.
Alright? Now, you need our help? Fine, we help. No questions asked, because that's what we're here for. Whether we'll be successful or not, it's an entirely different thing. I've never been part of a revolution, you know? Who'd have
That
thought?
really surprises me.
Well, I signed a ballot once, like
That's not the
50-ish
same
years
thing.
ago, but it's not really the same thing. I felt like I was participating, but maybe from, like, right at the back of the crowd. Like, but look, if you need our help, we'll help, okay?
Okay.
Now, you've
Should
been
I-
here far too long and not given me a hug yet.
Yeah, that's true. And just immediately, like, whoosh,
Now-
into a hug.
And as you kind of, like, grab hold, as she kind of, like, wraps you up, and she goes, that was almost a minute too late, you know?
I'm sorry. It won't happen again.
No. It won't. And with that, we're going to go for a quick break.
No.
No. So, we'll be back in 15 minutes or so, maybe just after 8 o'clock. We need to go and get drinks and all that fun stuff. Thank you so much, everyone, for being with us so far. Thank you for the bits and the follows and all that fun stuff that you've been doing so far. We'll be back very shortly. Please don't go anywhere. We're going to continue this when we get back. Bye-bye-bye-bye.
See you soon. Bye-bye.
The Into the Wilds Battlemap book series from Tom Kartos returns with Volume 3, the Urban Edition. Into the Wilds is a collection of fully customizable, biome and region themed Battlemap books for your favorite tabletop RPG. They are ideal for preset or random encounters, so you can be fully prepared no matter which direction your players choose to head in. Volume 3 includes castles and keeps, towns and cities, and traders and dwellings. Everything you need for an urban-based campaign. The returning Volumes 1 and 2 include a variety of overworld and underworld maps for travels through the wilderness. The battle maps come in 2 variations. A fully furnished, highly detailed version with props and assets already placed, and a second unfurnished version for you to customize however you need with the included reusable asset stickers or that trusty dry erase marker. Each set also comes with the complete digital bundle for online play. Whether you play in person or online, the Into the Wild series contains everything you need to tell an immersive and compelling story with your friends. Back Into the Wilds Volume 3 on Kickstarter now.
Aerilon, a constellation of 10 mysterious floating islands that hang in the stratosphere, each a unique treasure trove of different cultures, factions, and environments. Here, high above and obscured from the forgotten realms below, magic courses through the very air you breathe. In these lands, bravery forges destinies, and a legendary journey is about to begin. As the mysteries of this strange land are being unraveled, a malevolent power seeks to shroud this wondrous realm in eternal darkness. But where there is darkness, there will always be those who rise to meet it. Brave souls will have to confront horrors that defy imagination and unravel secrets that question the very essence of magic itself. In the face of adversity, would-be heroes must find the strength in each other and the bonds they forge with the people of Aerilon. For it's the power of unity, resolve, and courage that will carry them forward through the skies. Embark on a destined journey aboard a skyship to discover verdant forests, sun-blasted deserts, winter tundras, bustling cities, mountains, and depths. This is Aerilon, and it's here that our journey begins. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Tales on Tap. Thank you so much for sticking with us through the break. We hope that you've had chance to go and get like rehydrated and dehydrated and all that kind of fun stuff. Yeah, double entendre, guys. You see? Yeah,
Nope.
like it. Nope. Anyway,
Sorry.
Sorry, we'll behave.
and that brings this episode to a close. So we rejoin the action with Virgil and Mr. the Raven, Finian, in the High City. As Finian goes, so this is a cinnamon bun. I don't think I like this one. I like that one. That, and he points to the croissant. That one's delicious. Takes a swig of coffee and he goes, oh, yeah, that one's not for me, and pushes the cinnamon bun away. Like, that's...
Very delicately stabbing it through a nail and just sort of holding it as he's flicking through the papers. Just, I didn't think it would be an acquired taste, but it's fine. Flaky and light is your specialty, so whatever you like.
In pastries, sure. So, right, where are we at? So we've got...
So, and Virgil's very much been trying to, sort of like a lawyer trying to keep all his papers together, or like a student cramming. He's got like 6 different things spread out over his lap, trying to like flick through stuff, make sure nothing blows away in the wind, like just keeping things where he is, and saying, right, okay. And sort of taking pen and quill and ink and sort of starting to write down. So, from what I believe, it started the Alchemist Nook. That's where it began and started going to.
Okay.
From that point on, I can't really place it, but I do know that Malgrave owned the Elysium Alchemical Company. He also had ties to the Phoenix Feather and the Dead Dwarf within it. Did you know that dwarf, by the way? Because you sent a letter to him.
The other way around. He sent a letter to me. I returned the favor.
What was his name, just out of curiosity?
Bramich.
Bramich. A lot of Bramiches in this part, okay.
I don't think he was from these parts.
You don't say. His name was... Yeah, anyway. He turns up dead. Old and iron-hearted, obviously storing flux things, so the masks, the vials, the component itself is being made within the factory.
Yep.
We have...
Okay, so how do we connect this to outside sources? What kind of... So you mentioned the manifestos, were the trade deals with people from outside of Skyhaven?
Yes, so we have all the manifestos of ships that were sailing in. We know what the name of one specifically, which was the Horizon Seeker. That was taken down on its way here.
Okay.
We found out that was the ship that your friend was part of.
Your friend?
Yes, I can't remember his name now. The ship thing, what was it called?
Ombrin.
Ombrin, thank you, Ombrin, yes. I did know it was something along those lines. It was an O name. It was an O sound. Anyway.
Well, that's fine. Okay, so we have those connections. Cool. Well, look, it's 8:45. If you're quite finished with your pastries and the latte or whatever it is that you're drinking, should we...
Yeah, it's... I mean, I had a cappuccino, but it's fine. We'll just...
I don't know. What... They said, do you want a coffee? And I went, yes.
Do you never wish to live like this? Or have you never sort of been around any of this?
Fuck no.
Why? What's wrong with it?
Oh, could you imagine, like, kind of lording your wealth over people that don't have it, and, like, living your life in luxury while just, like, a few hundred yards over a wall, people are, like, scratching a living to put food on the table for children and for, like, elderly people who also are not looked after in society. Like, once they hit a certain age, they're just kind of, like, put into a, like, just off, you know, like, off into a distant place and nobody really cares, and, like... You know, you want to live your life, like, above everyone else when people are suffering elsewhere? Like, do you want to live your life like this?
I mean, I was just talking about getting coffee and croissants in the morning. I don't really think you I think you went a bit far with that, to be honest. I just meant in nice areas, drinking coffee, having a nice morning with friends. But sure, if you want to, do this whole...
I mean, if you want to sit in nice places where just over it, like a few hundred yards away, there is not nice...
Tag yourself. I'm the revolutionary ruining brunch.
Yeah. Oh God, students.
This is someone on the physics course and someone on the philosophy course.
Social science, computer science.
Yeah.
Sure, if you want to kind of live your life like that, Virgil, like, I won't judge you, but it's not for me.
It's fine. I was just wondering. Everyone seems to have such a problem with nice ways of living, but whatever.
It's not the nice way of living. It's the people living in those ways that I have a problem with. If we could get rid of that, like the societal hierarchy, and everybody could eat in places like this and have coffee and croissants, then yeah, I'd probably enjoy it a little bit more. But considering it's cornerstone for the upper echelon of people, then no, I don't want to.
There are hierarchies all over the place. You can't stop them. They're a naturally occurring phenomenon.
Yeah, but why is it societally acceptable to gatekeep croissants? These are delicious. Everybody should have them.
All right, well,
and everyone dies.
Maybe I should go for a seat on the council. No, fuck
and
he just kind of shivers and goes, "Oh no. Forget I said
I really
that."
don't think you're suited to talking to other humans. But whatever the case may be, we seem to have our list. How the hell am I supposed to get in there?
With your legs and your feet, one after another, we're just going in, right?
I remember a time when I thought you were helpful. It's strange. Those days seem so long gone.
You're asking stupid questions. Why do you expect anything other than a stupid answer?
Because I can't just walk in as I am, can I, Finian? Look at me.
I think you look
I'm
great.
essentially a wanted man. All I've done is take my makeup off and take off a little bit of jewelry.
Then let's hope they don't notice.
Okay, that's fine. I will think of something on the move.
Okay.
Are you coming in with me, or are you staying out here? Because
I'm buddy system.
Well, yes, but who are you to me? Because at the moment you're an aristocrat, and I'm going to pose as someone from a church. So what is our meaning? What is our? Yeah, exactly.
What's my motivation?
What is our story? How are we connected together?
We are friends.
Family. Okay.
No, family's a bit far. They will never believe that. Friends.
Are we official?
Right. Okay, we're friends. So what do you do? Who do you work for? Why do you have an interest in doing this? Come on, did you not take Amdram? I took a few courses. Come on, let's go.
It's really not my strong suit. I'm really just gonna let you do the talking. I'm just gonna stand there and look official.
Okay, you look official. Can you think of some... you're just a council member from the middle city. You have...
Nope. Don't tell them I'm a council member, because I'm not. They will see right through that. I will introduce myself. You can worry about the rest. How's that?
Okay, cool. Just make it someone believable. Okay, I don't have to really explain why we know each other. It's going to take a while.
I can figure something out on the way. Are you ready?
Okay, so... as I will ever be. And he sort of binds everything together and puts his note, and then he ties the shipping manifesto, the what's it called? The recipe book, pulls the two letters away for the moment and just slips them into a pocket, but keeps the core of the information there, and then with posh Finian starts walking towards the council chambers.
As you go past the door of the cafe, Finian just goes, "Rather delicious, pay no chocolates," and just continues to walk off.
You're suited to this place. Honestly, that's how we all do it.
Grassy arse.
Did I do well? Did I say that right?
Si, signore. Yes. Yeah, top notch. Absolutely. You could fit in here perfectly, Finian.
Wonderful. I don't want to.
You'll be drinking tea with a pinky out in no time.
A pinky? I don't want to know. And you kind of leave the cafe area and start walking towards the more central hub of the high city. You walk past. You see that there is a small kind of pop-up market. This is the first time you've seen this within the city. especially in the high city. You'll have never seen it in the high city, but you walk past a kind of pop-up market, and it's sort of, but it's not a market as you know within the middle city where it's various wares, but you see there is exotic creatures and there are like performers, and it's sort of like a little pop-up mini circus. It is the traveling menagerie.
Oh. That's nice.
You walk past that, you walk down towards the colossal chalice. For those of you at home, this is a fountain that is shaped like a giant pouring chalice that pours wine. But it's not wine, it's water. But it is dyed to look like red wine. And you walk towards the central hub of the higher city until you see before you this grand building. You see that, for those of you that weren't with us when Edivir did his recce session across the high city, you see that there are stairs that lead up, and this building is kind of like built on this plinth. See that there is impressive marble columns on the outside and a large domed roof atop the building. You see that there are intricate stained glass windows that depict the history of Winmere through the ages on the outside. And Finian at the bottom of the steps goes, "Right, are you ready?"
Yes, let's go. Shouldn't we just talk to a clerk or something? Let's see.
Sure. Let's find that person, because I'm going to be honest, this is the first time I've been here.
Me too.
So
this will go well.
I hope.
What could go wrong?
I don't know.
Yeah, and as we are walking up the stone steps, just sort of try. Are there lots of people on these steps walking up and down, like people sort of going towards their jobs, or is there a lot of foot traffic?
Yeah, there is a little bit. Yeah, people coming in and out of the property itself. So as you're walking up the steps, you step through the large double doors into the first area. You see that it kind of like, it is a small like receptionist area, but it is an open plan area with kind of like doors and glass walls that kind of separate this area to the rest of this building on the inside. You see that you can see right through, and there is these large marble columns that line the actual building on the inside as well as the outside. The large dome itself, you can see is just a glass dome to let all the natural light come. Towards the very back of the property, you see, and it's been designed this way, that the only area that you can see within there is the council, the large central council chamber, where it is very much centralized, but it is very well kind of defensed, and there is high walls as such to make sure that this is a central location. You see that within the room it's equipped with a large ornate table, comfortable seating around it for the council members. You also see that around the edge of this room is these sorts of small galleries where members of the press or the public or people can sit and kind of observe proceedings when the council is in session. Within the small area that you're in, the reception area, there is this long oaken desk with two individuals behind it. You see there is a lady and a gentleman. The lady is kind of mid-50s, human lady, hair tied up in this quite intricate bobble thing on her head that kind of makes her hair kind of stick to the very top of her head. You see that she's wearing quite business attire, so this kind of suit-ish garment. You see that the other individual there is a gnomish gentleman, kind of sat. You can tell the stature of this gentleman is very small, but kind of the chair that this individual is sat on is obviously higher, which is why he can reach the table. You see that he is kind of got longish, curly, browny blonde hair. He's also wearing business attire, a kind of a suit, but with a cravat that he's got tucked into his waistcoat, and it's kind of like puffed out a little bit, and he's kind of like dealing with an individual. The older lady is kind of sat there, kind of reaming through some papers and taking notes.
Okay. Just glancing around, do I see any just sort of general guard? So like official looking people within, like on the doors, or is like sort of stationed in this little area?
You do see that there are a couple of individuals, two set on either side. So there's four security guards that are sat on either, like two on either end of this reception room, posted on each four corner, just kind of stood with swords on their hilts, just kind of watching people within this area.
Okay. So as we were going up the stairs, Virgil would have sort of reapplied the arcane marks he's put on his face to sort of try and mask what he looks like just a little bit, or change up ever so slightly. With everything sort of tucked under one arm, he's going to sort of walk in, staff with a slight clink and a little sort of hurry to a step almost, and approach the two people. No one in particular, and just good morning. I have come on behalf of the Temple of Ilaria. I have information, or I need to talk with someone by the name of Garrick Blackthorn. I was told by my higher ups that I need to deliver things from them.
And which individual are you talking to, the gnomish gentleman or the older lady?
I'm addressing both of them because he doesn't really, he wants to appear as if he doesn't know who he's supposed to talk to, so he's just come and addressed it as a general thing to either one of them, and then whoever talks will...
Well, as the gnomish gentleman is dealing with somebody, it is the older lady turns and goes,
Okay.
Sorry dear, what was that?
Oh, hello, my name is Ayla. I have come from the Temple of Ilaria, and I am here... We don't have an appointment necessarily, but I have urgent information that needs to get into the hands of a Garrick Blackthorn, I was told.
Oh. Okay, and you were told to come directly here, were you?
Yes, I was.
Without an appointment?
It's a matter of urgency, I'm afraid. There was very little time to go through the proper channels. The temple elders and higher-ups have said to me that this is drastically... I'm very new there, believe me, but they have said that this is important.
You see, usually when we have people from temples come to see us, they book appointment. Now, let me just double check here to see when I can fit you in. And she begins reeling through a book and goes, yes, I have 15 minutes a week on Tuesday.
Okay, can you do a 15 minutes now? But this is exceptionally important information. Genuinely speak, this could change the way Windermere moves in the next couple of days, and it needs to be gotten into the right hands now.
Make me a persuasion check.
Oh dear. Let's see, persuasion. Oh, I'm not going to roll in that because it's tiny. Let's go.
Apologies, Dan is rolling his microphone. It's a 20-sided microphone.
That is a 14.
And she kind of like looks around the room and kind of like leans in and goes, if you're talking about our foreign dignitaries, then I might be able to squeeze you in, but I need a little bit more than just your word that this information is relevant.
He's going to sort of look around and then lean over towards her and sort of like get quite close. We have information that may be able to tie Malgrave to the recent flux epidemic. And it's... Yes, I know, but...
Oh, would you just look at that? The council member Garrick's schedule. I don't know why I missed this, but if you could just wait 10 minutes, I'm sure we can squeeze you in. That wouldn't be a problem. Let me just pencil you in here, and you see them just immediately scratch out another name and just... and your name was Ayla, you said? Yes. Okay.
Ayla, A-Y-L-A. Yes.
and you hear from behind you, "My name is Brian."
Not again. Phalanx all over again.
Yeah, this is Brian.
Oh, hello, Brian. Hello, lady.
I'm sorry. He's very rich and very rarely gets out of his mansion. He just has a vested interest in what we're doing. Your name is Darling, by the way. I'm sorry. I should have introduced myself, but I am in a hurry.
Oh, no apology needed. So my name's Dorothy. Please do not wait. Just bear with me. I'm going to see if we can get you in a bit quicker. Are you all right just to hold on a moment?
Yes. I'll just take a seat over here. I won't go anywhere.
Yes.
Come on, Brian.
Brian. Vinny goes, yes, I am very rich, and I am, and you just kind of like push him, and he's like, oh, okay. And she just kind of stumbles a little bit, and he just goes, he turns to you and goes, well, I think that went rather well.
Evan is losing it.
Having hot palpitations. I'm gonna have a.
Stop having the chocolate-covered coffee beans. They're not helping you.
As we sit down and sort of like those, I imagine they're like those sort of wooden chairs with like the slight sort of foam on them that you get in all government buildings.
Yeah, as you both sit down, it goes.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not fabric; it's that kind of plasticky stuff. Which
yeah. Like foam inside, and as you hear it.
Yeah. So as you both sit down and wait for the council member to arrive, we're going to head across town to Liana and Pim. You guys finish up at the Druid's Grove and make your way through the tunnel system into the middle city. You arrive somewhere to the northwesterly point of the middle city. As you would know, Liana, that's where the gladiatorial arena is, right?
So we're not heading to the arena.
No, I know, but I'm just telling you because
Yeah,
because you know where things are in the city, right?
totally.
So you're in sort of like the northwesterly quadrant of the middle city of Windmere. What do you guys want to do?
So we're heading towards oh god, House Galahad.
And where's that?
The name just went right. She would know where that is.
Sure. So tell me where that is.
You've never said to me where it is,
Yes,
but
I
I
have.
know where it is. Don't be a dick, right?
So you know that House Galahad is located on one of the most westerly points in the middle city. It's kind of halfway between the northern and the middle sectors. It is located on the edge of the city, and is fortified on
Fortified.
3 points, because there is no need for one on the outside wall, because there is just a sheer drop off the island. Okay, so you guys are heading there. Excellent.
Right, Pim, when we get there, I don't know if I'm going to be exactly, well, I know I'm not going to be exactly welcome. So there might be a element of sneaking in.
I got that.
Okay. Just let me do the talking. A lot of these fighters can be a bit rude and respect size and muscle. And you have
Neither of those.
You have heart, which can't be discounted, but yeah.
Yeah. I'm literally called a halfling. Size is not in the name.
Yeah. Okay. I'm hoping just to be able to get round the guards and try and get into the lower quarters where they keep the fighters, so we can speak to them directly. Now,
Yeah.
I'm
Would you
not
like-
sure how we're
would
going
you-
to do that, but
Would you like a distraction?
what do you mean?
Well, I mean,
I think we should
Bark
be
can probably.
focused.
No, I mean, Bark can probably create a distraction for the guards.
That could possibly work. I think once we get there, we have a look and to see what we're dealing with, and then that could work.
Okay.
Possibly.
So, before we head into this complete uncertainty, I just need to clarify what your intentions are. Are you intending to try and break these gladiators out of House Galahad, or are you just going to parlay?
Bit of both, bit of column A, bit of column B. So the main intention is to talk to them.
Yep.
And to see if there was a way of them being released, would they help? Also, I'm trying to find out information about other houses, because I don't know where any other houses are.
That's cool. I just didn't know if this was like a
It might turn into a jailbreak. Like,
Right.
100%.
Okay,
It
cool.
might.
So you guys start heading over to House Galahad. You're about 50 yards or so from the precipice of this building. As you're starting to approach, Leanna, you get this overwhelming sensation that your wrists become heavier for some reason. Like this is reliving trauma of chains and wrist irons being placed on you for several years of your life, and all of a sudden your arms kind of like droop a little lower than you intend naturally. But you are around 50 yards or so from the property. What do you guys want to do?
From that distance, can we see if there are guards stationed outside?
You would be able to see, Pim, that there are in fact 2 guards stationed outside the main entrance to this property. They are wearing House Galahad colours. They are armed, and they are stationed on either side of where the main entrance to this property.
Do I remember from my time there if there is any like windows or anything that can be seen from the outside, like we could see out of from where we stayed?
You know absolutely that there is not.
There is not. Okay.
There's no way
okay.
to see into the training yard, and it is purpose built in that way because if any outside looking in can look at people training, they could get the inside scoop on gladiator fights and stuff. So they're purposely designed to be a behind closed doors sort of.
Hey Pim.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how I was going to feel when we were this close, but Bark might need to help me in there, past a wall.
They can do that, yeah. He's good at that stuff. He can help us both get in there. We don't need to go through the main entrance.
I wouldn't suggest going through the main entrance. I think we go to the edge, to the part that leads to the western drop-off, and which I do believe the other side of the wall is the training yard. If Bart can transport us there, I think I can get down to the holding cells from there.
All right. Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. I'm going to say this now. If I get captured, I have a way out. It's only for one person. I will meet you back at the Druid's Grove.
Don't
go,
worry.
Okay?
You won't get captured.
And you see her, she's starting to rub those wrists, and she's just like, okay. She
Hey,
shakes.
We're wolves, right?
Sometimes. And you do see her general confidence this whole time has been very upbeat and merry, and like she's on an adventure, she's doing something, you're kind of infecting her in that way. But as she's got closer, she has withdrawn into herself, and suddenly the doubt is there, like plain to see. Okay, let's Let's go.
Don't worry, we got this. And I'm gonna touch your hand, and I'm gonna cast enhance ability.
Hey, so I believe that lasts for an hour, was it?
Yeah.
And you have to choose which ability to enhance.
I'm gonna choose Eagle Splendor, which means that you have advantage on charisma checks.
Okay, because I need those.
Okay. Excellent. So you cast enhance ability on Liana.
Yeah.
Excellent. What next?
We head to the edge of the wall, to the edge of the island. On the western edge.
Okay, so you make your way round the northernmost side of the property until you get to the edge of Skyhaven. Now, where you're currently stood, there is a wall in front of you, so you can't see off the edge of the island, but you're in this corner between these two 40 to 50 foot walls.
Okay, and if I am right, the training ground is on the other side of this. They shouldn't be training this early, and if they're not in the arena, possibly not. Okay, we should be fine. This courtyard should be empty.
Okay. Make me a perception check, please.
Yes, sir.
Oh, you're gonna throw this out the window.
Oh.
I'm not.
24.
You can hear the distant clang of iron as if swords clashing together. And you can hear the clang of sword on shield.
So I'm pretty sure that they are training because I can hear weapons.
Why? Oh, that's a spanner. Okay, so DM, do I know? Well, obviously I know, but you've never actually said. So when we're training, how many officers, guards, that sort of thing, are in the training grounds with us?
When you were there last,
Yeah,
there was at least 6 to 8 guards in the lower area of this training ground. But you also know that where the Lannister's balcony is, there tends to be 3 or 4 stationed on there, just in case, with bows, arrows, spears, things like that, in case there was an uprising or a riot. You also know that when the gladiators are in the training ground within this property, all other doors leading towards the actual villa are completely locked. You are all behind like caged doors, and it's sort of like a prison yard essentially. Where you are, you have walls on 3 sides, and then you have the open base of the edge of Skyhaven.
okay. Give me a second, Pim. Give me a second. And she just
It's okay.
she closes her eyes. She tries to picture where the holding cells would be in relation to where I am now.
Okay, so you know that they are underneath the property.
Yeah. To be underneath the training arena? The training
No, so they're
ground?
underneath the villa. So you'd have to go right under, like right across the training ground and underneath the villa. There is nothing under the training ground.
Okay, so how far can Bark take us?
20 feet.
That's not far enough. I don't know if this is going to work, Pim.
Well, we have a little bit of time. We're only supposed to be back at sundown, right?
Yes. I mean, we could just try and talk our way in. Okay, hold on. This is an idea. I'm not saying it's a good one. It just came to me. What if I, like, hand myself in? I get into the jail section of it, the sleeping quarters. I talk to the gladiators, and then I use my potion to get out of there. I would have to do that alone, though, Pim.
Well, adding to that plan, if you hand yourself in, that would probably give me enough of a room to be able to sneak in.
Okay. I don't want you getting caught though. Oh,
I'm
and you can
quite
see she
slippery
really
when I
is in
want to
like
be.
these two minds. She's just like, oh, this is not a
Liana?
safe place for you.
Liana, we got this. Whatever we're choosing, we got this. Okay? I'm not gonna leave you anywhere.
That's what I'm worried about. Okay. I'm gonna hand myself in at the front gate. You're gonna sneak in. How?
You tell me where the holding cells are. I'm gonna use bark to transport myself in and get myself to the holding cells.
Okay. So from, I don't know if you want me to roll a history check or something for this. But what are we standing on? Are we on ground or dirt? Ground or dirt? Are we on pavement or dirt? Jesus, no.
I was like, I swear.
More
they're
like
both
Leanna's.
Both. You're standing on dirt.
Okay, so I'm going to take a nail and I'm going to try to draw a rough layout in the dirt that I remember of the inside of this place.
Roll me a history check, please.
Okay. My history is... have it loaded. My history is... Oh, it's a minus. Okay. Wait, that figures. Oh, that's not bad. That's an 18.
An 18. Okay. So you will draw how you remember it.
Yes.
Okay. So you draw the 3 walls. You draw the training yard. Set 20 feet. So you would have to be up against the wall to then and you would get to the other side of this wall. It's a 20-foot wall.
Thick wall, yeah.
Thick wall. It's designed to keep people in. Essentially, it's almost like a
Big
prison for gladiators, right? If it was a thinner wall, it'd be easy to knock down. These are strong people, right? But it's thick, like 15-foot thick. Like it's not like, yeah. Then there's the training yard. The training yard is 45 feet across by 60 feet in width. You've also got the villa, which has it's kind of set on these pillars that hold the first half of the upper section, and underneath where those pillars are, there are tables and benches. That's usually where you were served your meal, and then you have the main villa beyond that. So from the outside wall to the villa, you then get to the stairs down. It's 75 feet past all the gladiators,
as I'm drawing these,
all the guards, all the locked gates.
As I'm drawing this out, I'm explaining exactly, and there's normally guards situated here, across here, here, and here. Do you really think that is something you can do?
I'm a druid, right? I should be able to wild shape into something that can sneak past.
Tim,
I realize I'm not that good at it, but maybe this is one of those times.
I'm beginning to think that this might have been a mistake. It's all
Half horse boy walks down the stairs.
Absolutely every face.
okay, if you really think you can wild shape, I'm gonna do an Edivir and say I believe in you.
Right.
Be something
Should
small.
we do a test right here? If it goes to shit, we need to do another plan.
That's probably actually smarter than me disappearing and you trying it. Yes. I would say something
Just
small.
letting you know that
sneaky.
once I wild shape, I can't speak to you. So if it works, it works. If it's a fucked up transformation, sorry for swearing, I've done that a lot. I realize. I think Edivir is rubbing off on me.
If it works, the plan is I go and hand myself in. You get in straight away. We're not even going to talk about it, okay? If it doesn't work, then we'll talk about it.
Yeah. Okay.
Go.
Okay,
Cool.
so Liana, you start making your way round to the front.
No. I'm going to wait to see if he transforms first, because if he doesn't transform, we have to talk about it.
Sure. Okay.
Change.
Right.
D100 then, please, Pim.
Yeah. I need to transform into something small enough to
Small
be
and
able
sneaky.
to small and sneaky enough to disappear. So I'm gonna try for a fly.
Oh God.
Okay, that's a choice.
Okay.
It's the only way that I can disappear.
I've seen a film
without-
about this.
Yeah. There's the... Going full Jeff Goldblum.
I don't know if this is good or bad, guys, but that's a 002.
So
So
that's
that's
a 2 on a D100.
So that's a 2% on a. I don't know if I need to hit high or low on this.
okay. How long does your wild shape last?
2 hours.
Okay, and you cannot summon Bark at the same time as wild shaping, right?
No, but I can dismiss wild shape as an action.
Can you though?
Okay.
Permanently a pin fly. Right, okay.
You see Pim transform into a blue bottle. It is a very small chance you get to wild shape properly, and you've rolled a very low percentage, Pim. So, well done. You see Pim change into a blue bottle.
Let's go.
You see, Liana is like really excited. She almost like shouts like, "Well, oh no, behind the wall. Well done. Right, I'm going this way." And then
I'm gonna
just dashes
sit
off.
and I'm gonna fly up and sit on your hide underneath your clothes, and then I'm gonna fly away. Just to
Okay.
get close enough so I can see stuff.
I'm making my way around to the front
Okay. You
with
make
my
your way.
hands up,
Okay.
just walking towards the front,
This is
trying to
bold.
look unthreatening.
This is bold. I love it.
Before
Old strategy,
Before-
Carl. It pays off for him.
before I go round to the front,
Mm-hmm.
I want to quickly dig a hole
Right.
and put my shit in there.
So you have a
No.
giant's club. You have a war. You have a great axe, and you
No,
want
okay,
to
leave that.
You want to dig a
I'm gonna take
small
all my
hole
shit, though.
to put
Like a
all your
fucking-
shit.
Leave it.
Deep
I will,
well.
Yeah.
I'm
like-
going to
hole
just
for you.
have it on me. Don't worry. I'm
Okay.
going forward.
Okay. As you round the corner and begin, walking up to the front of this property, the two guards kind of notice you and immediately draw their weapons and just point them at you. Where the fucking hell have you been?
Lots of places.
Oh, I know someone who want to have a word with you. Get here now!
Okay.
And as you
Okay.
begin to walk forward, drop the weapons.
I just. Yeah. Okay. She takes all the weapons off
Okay.
and hands them over.
As soon as you go to hand them, he grabs them and just chucks them to one side, and they go clink, 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 and clatter on the floor. They are not removing their gaze from you. And then you see one of them open the door, and this one goes, "In now."
Okay. Okay. You don't need to be so rough. I walk in.
They follow you, and the gates shut, closed.
I hate that sound.
So,
I'm just gonna trample a little bit on your back, just to sort of.
Dude,
show
I'm
you that
covered in
I'm
fur.
there.
I don't know if I can feel blue bottle fly. But yeah.
Blue ball bites are nasty.
across the
You ever
city,
had something in your hair, stuck in your hair?
Yeah.
You can feel it. Trust me.
across the city, Moore releases you, Kyria, from the embrace and just goes, "See now, don't you feel better?"
A little.
Okay.
Which hospital is she at?
Oh, she's in the Windmere Hospital, dear.
Should I could try see her.
You could, but I promise you she's fine. She'll be home in the next day or so. I visit her every morning, every night, but we have this place to run. You know, for a fact, we've only ever had 2 closed days in the many years that we've been open.
I know.
So I tell you what. When she gets out, if you're still here, we'll make a special dinner for you and your friends. And you can all come back and you can see Essen, and we'll have a nice meal together. How does that sound?
That would be nice. So we have a way off Skyhaven.
Oh, so when you said that you might not be going away, you might even be going away.
Yes. We're not clear what the plan is, but we just know that Windmere might not be safe for us. And, well, it's not, and it might continue not to be. So, I
Okay.
mean,
Well then,
I want to make sure I see Essen before.
okay. Tell you what, I'll go and see Essen tonight. Tell her that you've been. I'm sure that'll cheer her up.
Yeah.
And if we can get them out tomorrow, then we'll come and see you. We'll pick a location and we'll come and see you together.
Yeah.
But if you are going away, then yeah, okay. Just wait right there. Don't move, please. Just don't go
Okay.
anywhere. Okay? I'll be right back.
Okay.
And she turns and runs through the kitchen, and you can hear the dook of the stairs as she runs up to it, leaving you there for a few minutes. And
Kyria just kind of like messages, like literally going, don't want to be alone with my thoughts. You okay out there?
Yeah, everything's all clear. Are you good? Shall I come back in or?
She just went. Oh, she's coming back now. Just give me a couple minutes.
Okay.
comes back, and she is kind of holding something behind her back. Okay, so you are going, and as much as we want to prepare for the best, but we also need to be aware of the worst. Okay, and if you are going to leave before we have a chance to see you, then she pulls out from behind her back a small satchel, and it is a very fine looking satchel, embroidered in, it's a red satchel with golden embroidery on it, and she kind of holds it and goes, this belongs to you. It was your mother's, and she told us to keep hold of it, give it you when you're ready, and I believe that you are. So here, hands you a bag.
Take it, and I don't look at it just yet. I kind of just lock eyes with Moore. You know, you've done everything you can. More than enough.
Parents' job is never enough. Nothing will ever be enough. We'll always want to do more and more for you, because we love you. And you're our little girl.
Not a girl. I
Alright.
know you're learning.
You're our little Maria.
Yeah.
Look,
I
and you hear
appreciate.
coming down the stairs, and Maud just kind of goes, "Oh,
Should I go?
I'm sorry. You're gonna."
I'll go.
Okay.
I love you too. And as I go to the pantry, I am gonna quickly scour the shelves for tobacco.
Hell yeah.
Perception check.
Hey, 15.
15. Was that with disadvantage?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, impressive.
15 and an 18.
Yep.
Straight
You,
rolls.
you see the biscuit tin where Essin hides their tobacco stash.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
If it's in reach, I'm gonna scramble up quietly,
Mm-hmm.
pull it down, grab a little bit out, and just hold it in my hand because I
Yeah.
don't know what to do with it. Close the tin, put it back, and then come outside the house with just a handful of loose backy.
Yep.
What is
Hey.
that?
There's stuff.
Stuff. I'll
Yeah.
hold my hand up.
Yep. Pours tobacco into your hand.
Oh, nice one. Oh, nice one. And he'll refill his little pouch. Right. Everything okay?
Yeah, Essen's in the hospital. But she's okay, apparently. Moore's gonna talk to her tonight and let her know that I've been. I don't know if maybe she was worried about me or something and it got her ill. I hope it wasn't. But Moore's gonna see what she can do. But I don't think they want to. I don't think asking to host anything here is an option.
No, I think here would be a bad idea. We don't want to put that on them.
No.
There's a few other places that we could check. And obviously, Finian said that he had somewhere.
Yeah.
There was a place that someone mentioned to me quite a while ago. He seemed like a stand-up person who would either do the right thing for money or for the right reasons. Said he hanged around at the Grinning Goblin.
Okay.
Could be a place to host
Yeah.
our little meetup. We just need to make sure we find somewhere that's not going to sell us out.
I've heard taverns are really good locations for rebellion gatherings, and yes, I am referencing that one episode of Spelljammer we did.
Well, it's certainly a good place for gatherings to go unnoticed.
Yeah.
And Lower
Okay.
City is probably for the best.
So Goblin is in the lower city.
Do you know where it is?
It is in the lower city, isn't it? I thought it was.
That's what I was told.
We'll clearly know where it is, though. No,
1 second.
I almost guarantee.
No, Middle City. Goblins.
It's middle.
It's Middle City. The Grinning Goblin.
No, I can't say I know where that is. I
Okay.
can message more and see if she knows.
Go for it.
What was it called again?
The Grinning Goblin.
Just quickly. The Grinning Goblin? Where's that?
And is it safe?
And is it safe?
You hear, and it's almost as if she's talking to someone else. And she goes, "Oh, well, yes, there is plenty on offer in this city. If you're new here, then there's plenty of taverns and whatnot in the Middle City. The Grinning Goblin. If you're into sort of rough and tumble type place, then that's always a win. You've also got the Silver Serpent Inn, but that's more of a tavern and an inn than it is, just a kind of bar. But perfectly good places."
Thank you. So as that was kind of coming through, I was just going just random keywords Edamir.
And just to remind you, Dan, this was the guy that was passing when we were looking for something.
Yep.
And I asked him if he'd be up for some work or
Yeah.
something like that, and he said you can find me at the Grinning Goblin.
Yep.
So based on where we were and the direction that guy was heading in at the time, would I at least know whether it's sort of like eastern or western Middle City?
You know that it is sort of western middle. So it is just off a little bit west of the market, southwest. Yeah. Okay.
Well, let's head along the outskirts of the market. Someone should be able to point us in the right direction. I'll leave the talking to you.
Okay. Should I... Oh, okay. I'll disguise myself again. I did it for a big grand reveal, and then I realised that could have been potentially traumatizing. I did not really think it through, but it's happened now. Anyway, disguise self. Yep. And I will be...
I think...
What?
Go on. Edivir just says, I think they would have appreciated the honesty.
Yeah, I hope she did. I am going to disguise myself as a tall dwarven fellow.
Yep.
With ginger, like big ginger hair and like a long beard. Stocky and just grinning with a smile on his face as he walks out of the garden.
Sure.
Have you got any like painting or writing supplies on you?
I don't know if I've accidentally stolen one of Virgil's quills, potentially. And I'm kind of like looking through my satchel, and as I am doing so, the satchel that I've just been given in my hand, it's like, look through that. And I just pass you my other one while I go to look at what Moore's given me.
Okay, so you're looking at the one that Moore's given you, and Edivir, you're
Yes.
looking through Kiria's original, like, knapsack thing, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it's chaos.
There's a lot of receipts. in
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Oh, that, like, half a brick. What the fuck?
My bag in real life.
Yeah. Cool. So you're going to rummage around in there, Edivir. You find there is a half-snapped bit of chalk. You find that there is a very small pot of what could be described as paint, but it has clearly been in this bag a very, very long time, and it is solidified in the bag, like in the pot.
That can work.
So, yeah.
Cool. Just wanted to make sure we had something to update our posters with.
Yep.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah, so I think we'll start heading towards the Grinning Goblin.
After I've had a little peek.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to give you on this campaign. You're all sat there, like, waiting for me to, like, tell you this is a bag of holding, but it isn't.
No! Yes, it is!
It isn't.
Yes, it is!
We're not doing that this campaign.
Well, I just want to know what
I'm going to give you in fact, if you keep either in for it,
bag.
I'm going to end up giving you, like, one of those suitcases on wheels that's like a bag of holding.
Luggage. Luggage of
What?
holding.
Yeah.
Is there stuff in it? Like what?
Yes,
other than...
there is.
Yes.
You
Okay.
reach in, and you find a small but heavy coin purse.
You just hear a little squeal, like a barely suppressed squeal from Kyria, and it's just like.
Find something?
I think I might be rich. I'd say that could just be copper in there. I don't know. It feels quite heavy.
You realise that makes us enemies, right?
No, I don't think I'm actually like.
I'm
rich.
joking.
Okay, I can. Again, it might be coppers.
Oh, well, I'm not in some kind of poverty cult or something like that. That's not what this is.
Okay.
That's just the propaganda.
You guys head off up towards the middle city.
Yeah.
So,
Literally the opposite of Clovis.
Virgil, you and Brian are sat in the waiting room of the council hall of Windmere before Dorothy steps back out and goes, yeah, you there?
Oh, hello, Dorothy, dear, of course.
Come this way,
Well-
please.
On my way. As Virgil stands up to sort of start following, he's going to turn around to Brian and just quite sort of nonchalantly sort of trying to, sort of probing, just go, Brian, are Do you want to be in on this, or do you think it's better that you stay out here? I don't mind either way. I'm just asking if you know.
Oh no, as a man of culture and things, I should probably come with you.
You are yes, culture and things is what I've heard you are.
And I am also
involved in.
incredibly rich, so if we need to, pay for anything, then I'm here to do so.
Absolutely. Just want to be sure. Lead on, Dorothy, dear.
He's just kind of like a little bit perplexed at this exchange. He just goes, oh, okay. And begins to take you through this kind of like glass door. And as you hear the glass door shut, you hear it as if some like magical protection has just been activated on it once more.
Okay.
Dorothy walks you immediately left and through a wooden door into a corridor that you have to turn immediately right on, and then there is just doors lining this corridor. You walk past one that says Councilman or Councillor Bronwyn Stoneforge. The next one, Sir Thaddeus Ironheart. And you just see that these offices, the council offices of these council people. Until you arrive at the door that says Councillor Garrick Blackthorn. Dorothy knocks on the door and you hear, yeah, your 10 o'clock is ready. And, all right, send him in. And she just goes, after you?
Virgil sort of just... okay, and takes the door handle or whatever and just sort of walks in quite sort of with a mild amount, not authority, but just sort of like with confidence, and just sort of opens the door very slowly and just, hello, Councilman.
Ah, you must be my 10 o'clock meeting.
Yes, penciled in.
Before you, sat at quite a high-backed swivel chair at his rather sturdy-looking mahogany desk is a tiefling. A tiefling of striking presence with deep crimson skin. And you see a pair of elegantly curved horns that frame his angular face. You see that his eyes are a shade of gold. You see that Garrick's hair is black, and you see that there are streaks of silver, but it is tied back in a loose ponytail. You see that he is dressed in the finest of silks and brocades. You see that his silken shirt is a deep hue of purples and blacks. Ah, yes, and you must be... sorry, I didn't quite catch your name when Dorothy came in.
No, it's Ayla. Ayal. Ayla, sorry. I'm nervous. It's a big day.
Very well, and you? Brian. Pleasure to meet you both. Come in, take a seat.
Thank you. Having just quickly scanning around this room, how big roughly do I think it is? Just out of curiosity, just looking sort of end to end as I came in.
About 35 feet long, about 25 feet-ish wide.
Cool, okay. As he goes to take a seat and sort of puts his staff next to him and keeps the shield, sort of, he's trying to make sort of a show of the symbols of the church to try and sort of push this presence that he is from this place as opposed to anything else. Just sort of, as he sort of sits down and rests a little, he's like, these rooms, Counselor, are they secure for the exchange of information, or would you be willing for me to set up maybe something to keep ears out?
So the information that you're bringing to me is sensitive and not for prying ears?
Yes, quite so.
Very well. And you see there's like an orb on this sort of like small little plinthy type thing on his desk, and he just spins it in a clockwise direction and goes, there you are. Now anything said between us will stay strictly between us.
Well, it's nice to know that you've beaten me to the punch. I will not mince words. I have been sent to give you information that will hopefully depose the ilk that is Malgrave from getting council seat.
And what makes you think that I would like Malgrave deposed?
I read it in the paper. You are vehemently opposed to his
Am I not?
entrance and the commerce he wants to bring to this city.
Do you believe everything you read in the paper, do you?
Should I not? Are you lying?
I haven't told you anything. Just told me that you read it in the paper.
I have.
So, am I suggesting that the paper's lying? Is that your question?
Yeah. Well, the information is all over. This is what my church has heard. What else?
I am a very busy man, and for you to make assumptions about me in our first meeting is quite rude. First and foremost, I am a well-respected member of this city's council, and I beg and implore you to get to the point and get to it quickly. I do not have time for games, assumptions, or people wandering into my office, pointing fingers at me, basically telling me what they think they know about me. Am I making myself clear?
Adequately.
Now,
Do
can we
you
get
like
to the
the
point?
idea? Then the question still stands. Do you like the idea of Malgrave being on the council? Do you want it? Would you oppose his thing and his clear affiliation with Celasta and the Dread Sultan himself?
What makes you... Look, there's two questions, and the second is rather loaded. Now, first of all, you'd ask me if I am opposed to Malgrave taking a seat on this council. The answer, in short, is yes, I am. And the second question you ask is his involvement with the Dread Sultan. Now, what involvement might that be?
Right. I'm going to explain things as best I can with the information that we have acquired. Please just allow me to get to the end, and then whatever questions you have, or go from there. And he pulls out the documentation of the things. You are aware of the Alchemist's Nook, the place that was destroyed not a few months ago.
Yes, I believe that it was a tragic accident in the lower city. Cost the city quite a substantial sum in the demolition costs. Funds that I had to take from other places that may have needed it, such as the children's hospital that I was trying to extend.
Well, Thaldrin Blackbrew, the proprietor of that place, has... Well, here. And he's gonna untie everything and place the recipe book in front and just sort of look at it. Flux, you're aware of it, yes?
I am, yes, but
This is his recipe book. And in it, signed under his name, is the complete alchemical formula for flux. The warehouse that was raided and destroyed a few days ago. These are the shipping manifestos from that warehouse, detailing ingredients in this book directly linked to Thaldrin. The owner of the alchemical company, the Aerilon Alchemical Company, was Malgrave himself.
And how is it that you came in possession of these items? You happened upon them, found them in the street,
not at
maybe.
all. I'm not done with my story yet. If you would allow me to continue what I have to say, you will have the information you need.
Very well, but that'll be the last time you interrupt me, because the next time you do, you'll be escorted out of this property and on your street where you belong. Do I make myself clear?
Completely. I apologize. I'm just trying to get across what I need to.
I wish you would.
Okay.
At this point, Finian steps forward and goes, okay, so we know who wears the big boy pants in this room. Now, we're trying to give you the information. Sorry, apologies. My name's Brian. We've already been introduced, but can you just let him finish his story, please? Because we're trying to get to the point, but you keep asking us questions. Now, if you just waited a second... Apologies. All my money makes me mad sometimes. It just kind of steps back a little bit. Very well.
Did anyone else?
Are we
drop
meant
out?
to be able to hear
Yeah, I
anything?
can't hear anything. Dan.
Am I
I
back
can't
now?
hear you, Dan.
No, nobody can.
Oh, thank God! I thought it was me.
Am
was like,
I...
Wait, it's all of us.
No.
If you can hear us on stream but can't hear Dan,
Oh,
Let
everyone
us
can.
know.
I can't hear Natalie either.
okay, stream
That's
can
because
hear us.
Natalie's muted.
Stream
Yeah,
can
I
hear
was
us.
muted.
Stream
Hello?
can hear
Yeah.
Dan.
Okay. Can you guys not
Okay.
hear me?
No one can
No.
hear Dan apart from
Can't hear
stream.
Dan.
Have you muted yourself, Dan?
Wait.
Using your
No, I haven't.
block
I haven't.
people.
I haven't.
Technical
No.
difficulties, guys.
Fingers on lips.
There we go. No, wait. Can you guys hear me now? No. Fuck. How about now?
Hey!
Hey, we back!
We're back, baby.
Suddenly,
So where did
someone
I-
cast silence. Into
Where
the
did
room.
I know. Where did I lose you?
Just before the rant.
No. It was midway through Brian's. If you would let him talk, you'd get to the story, and then
Sure.
he just went silent.
Yep, that's all he did. And he steps back and allows you to continue. And Garrett just kind of goes, fine. Very well.
So, you must be aware of the beings being blamed for it, the ones on the wanted posters.
Yes, they've been troubling this city for some days now, and it's cost me and the city quite a substantial figure, employing more city guard and putting them on watch on double shifts.
Well, they are, needless to say, very badly injured, doing not well, and in desperation, one of them turned to one of the few places they believed that could help on my Temple of Magic. They gave us what information they had, and have left. I am here on behest of the elders of the church to try and stop what is going on that is plaguing both the lower city and the middle, and the undercity.
Make me a
We are all
deception check.
suffering. Oh, what, sorry?
Deception check, please.
Sensibility.
And not on Virgil, it isn't. It's on Leanna.
Oh God, it was on Leanna, wasn't it?
Yeah. Also, you missed my really funny joke because at the end of it, Brian went, "I'm sorry, my money just gets me mad sometimes," and stuff.
Deception.
And nobody laughed, and I was like, "Oh," but I now realise it's because you couldn't hear me.
Okay, that's good. That is 17.
Okay, that seems feasible. So these individuals, they brought you this information. Why?
Because they are desperate, and they are badly hurt and unwell and don't wish to die at the hands of someone who, from what they tell us, is putting them in the firing line, be blamed for all of this. Willing people, willing criminals, easy targets that were, from what they've told me, in the wrong place at the wrong time. I don't know if I can believe them myself, but they seemed honest.
Okay, but all the information you've given me points directly to Malgrave. Now, why should I believe that it is Malgrave behind it and not these individuals who are on wanted posters, hunted by the SBC, just pointing the blame at someone else?
Because if you look into all the things I've given you, there is more. There's Alden Ironheart. Do you remember his warehouse?
I do not know of it, no?
Well, we were told that the SBC raided it not long after it was taken, and there was paraphernalia there. He seems to have been connected to it. There are also three other names that appear. Thessel, Malgrave's butler, seems to have been around the city, talking to people. Briscomb's Bakery, and a man named Bearhold seems to have had collaborations with this butler, having jobs sent to them to attack the Solasta embassy. We also have Tanner from the lower city and the Tanner's Mark, Alara of the Hidden Star. They too are involved. These are just names that are coming up. I can't tell you much, I don't know. The Phoenix Feather Apothecary and the dead dwarf that came up from it. He too is part of this. There is a web of criminal activity, lies and deceit, making its way to try and, I don't know what.
That still doesn't connect Malgrave to the Dread Sultan, does it?
Because Thessel is Malgrave's butler.
But that still doesn't connect them to the Dread Sultan. Now, You told me that you have information about the apothecary in the lower city, a warehouse that was recently raided by the SBC, and yet you're the only person that had the evidence all in your lap that points in Malgrave's direction. You're now naming people that are associated to Malgrave, but that still doesn't incriminate him.
I can't incriminate him for you, can I? I am merely giving the tools necessary to get this done. Fact of the matter is, I don't know if I can believe what I've been told either, but they have said that Malgrave has had auspicious carriages arrive at his domain, large illusions cast on his house to shield it from view, a large man in a horned helm, a beautiful woman, a large amount of guard. There are also other things I can tell you, and he sort of starts flipping through pages trying to think. A ship named the Horizon Seeker was downed as it came this way. A person named Captain Bloodsail apparently downed it.
What
A
has that got to do with Malgrave?
These are ships that are transporting things into the city illegally, ingredients on these shipping documentations in this book.
You kind of see him lean forward and go, from where?
Solasta, from what I can tell. The Isle of Solasta is sending, and he sort of pushes it all forwards.
Kind of starts like thumbing through. Continue. Starts thumbing through some manifests and some ingredients.
I mean, this is what I've been told. These individuals, their crimes, while they seem to have committed them, are now being pushed and used as fall men, as people to, from what I could maybe gather, use as a way to instill trust in the city of Windermere, because he is the ones who caught those trying to infect it with flux.
Roll me a persuasion check, please.
Come on, big whammies. No whammies even.
Persuasion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Inspiration.
I do have inspiration, actually. Thank you for reminding me of that.
Let's go.
I'm definitely going to roll that. I'm going to use my inspiration on that. Okay, that's much better. That's still only a 16, though.
Not bad.
You see Garrick push the papers to one side and lean forward and go, I've met many devout individuals in my time. Why have you taken it upon yourself, and why does your church feel it's necessary to bring this to my doorstep?
Because it affects us all. My church isn't the only one concerned. Everyone from the lower city, the undercity, the middle city. Flux affects us all. It is destroying the very bedrock of this place. It is harming us all. And if someone is trying to implement it as a way and means of getting Solasta
Look.
city.
Yep, okay. I understand the ramifications of what you are proposing. I understand the consequences of that of Malgrave's actions, if it is indeed Malgrave, as you so say. I understand the gravity of it. What I'm suggesting to you is this enough? Will it hold up in court, or will it not? Because I have to look at it from both sides, because if I am to take a stance on this, there could be my neck on the line. And I've held a very highly reputable position within this council for some years. Now, if we were to get a confession or a verbal insinuation from Malgrave himself, then fine. This would then stick. Other than that, I don't know where these manifests have come from. They could be forged. I don't know where these books have come from. They could be forged. This could all be an elaborate political plot to see a up-and-coming political figure deposed for I don't know what reason. Now, I'm not suggesting that you're lying. But what I am suggesting is there are holes in this. And if you look at it through the eyes of the law, it could be thrown out, and if it is, then you have nothing.
What would make it stick harder then? In your opinion, what would we need to really make this stick?
The only thing that's tying this to Malgrave right now is that he owned the warehouse that this stuff was manufactured in. But if he claims that he had no knowledge of the manufacture of it in the first place, you have nothing else to go on that ties it to him directly. So
You see Virgil sort of sit back and just...
So you tell me, what else connects it to Gideon Malgrave? At this point, Finian steps forward and goes, what if we can get him to admit that he did it? And how are you going to do that? I'm going to ask him politely, as a gentleman does. And failing that, I'm going to ask him politely with my stick. Garrick just kind of like sits back in his chair and goes, well, I can't condone violence, and I don't propose that be the best course of action, but we need something more concrete, because right now this is theoretical, borderline conspiracy, and if these people have dropped all this information in your lap, Ayla, then quite clearly don't want to be known themselves. They don't want to put themselves in the firing line. Well, if this is true, why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they be screaming this from the rooftops?
Because who's going to believe them? Fact of the matter is, these are people who have been accused of being terrorists and criminals. The fact of the matter is, if they came to you hat in hand with information and said, oh, please, council members, please believe us, you'd slap them in irons and put them to the noose faster than we could count. Isn't that true?
It isn't untrue. I'll give you that. But look, if this is the route that you want to take this, and you wish action from the council on your behalf, then we need more concrete evidence. Because this is happenstance. This is loose threads that might connect it to Malgrave. There is nothing concrete here. Now, unless you enter his property and we find a flux manufacturing facility in his basement, there is nothing really that ties this to him. Other than your say-so and your paperwork in front of you that you can't even admit to me is real. You couldn't. Surely not. You weren't there when they were written. You didn't know where these people got the information from in the first place. You're just going off the information that was given you. Correct?
Correct. So, a witness would be the strongest thing you would need.
A witness, somebody who is prepared to testify against Malgrave, that puts him at the scene and directly links him to what you're suggesting. Other than that, council will have no part in it, because it will be a folly. One denial, and the whole thing's washed over. Gideon Malgrave is gunning for a seat on this council, and will stop at nothing, I fear, till he gets it. Now, what is concerning to me is that people from Celesta have arrived on our doorstep without invitation.
Right.
And under the guise of an embassy.
Yes.
Torn asunder. Which had no victims, no fatalities. It was property damage. Does it really need a squadron of 12 to 15 ships? No. There is something else at work.
Indeed. Indeed. So,
Ayla, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you've, at this point, come all this way, and I'm afraid I cannot help you. Not yet. Provide me with sufficient evidence and proof, and then we can talk properly.
Just a word, just a quick query, council member. If, for whatever reason, my church or our connections were able to apprehend one of the individuals that we know is connected or believed to be connected to this web of underground drug cartels, is there a way of forcing truth, or better yet, reading the mind of those involved?
There are magical ways, yes. There are spells that could be cast to ensure that the individual's not being deceitful.
Right. And Virgil looks to Brian, sort of very, like he can see there's like a twitch in his leg, sort of at this point, because he's running through every option that he can think of, and
Brian,
right.
Finian just kind of looks at you and just kind of like shakes his head very slowly, like.
Yeah. Can I insight check that to see if he's thinking that I'm thinking of the plan I thought of as Plan C, or if he's just shaking his head as like this is going down?
What? Roll me an insight check.
Yes. I want to know
There
what
was
he's
a
shaking.
plan C?
Yeah.
There was a Plan C. Yeah. Insight.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's wisdom based, and that's what I am now.
Hey.
Oh, that's a 24.
24. He's shaking your head. He's shaking his head, and you get the impression he's saying, "Well, we've got nothing else."
We don't have nothing else.
That was a double negative, and I don't know what that means. Does that mean you have something else?
Oh, I'm talking. No, so that was me talking to myself as a player, not me talking as Virgil into the room. Sorry, I was just talking to myself out loud.
Garrick just turns and goes, "Well, if that'll be all."
Yes, that will be all for the now. If I give my name to Dorothy out the front, will you be able to see me one more time potentially?
Only if it's worth my while, because I'm in here one more time with happenstance and loosely binded together circumstance, I will throw you out of this room myself.
Thank you, council member. That's all I need to know. Thank you for your time. I hope I can rely on you in the future. And he's going to go across the table and start pulling the manifesto, the book, everything.
As soon as you place your hand on the manifestos, he slams his hand on them and goes, "What are you doing?"
Taking my information.
The information that you came to give to me, you're now taking away with you as well.
I've come to give you the information, but you don't seem to think it has any bearing or,
Well,
ironclad defense. So
your credibility is washing away like a summer rain. Off you go. And he just shoves it across towards you. Out of my office.
Well, I hope you can get more from me and I can get more from you in the future. It's been a good day to see you, council member. Goodbye. And he just opens the door and walks out.
Okay. Brian turns around and goes, "Goodbye." And just follows you out of the room.
Virgil's got like a leaned walk as he sort of like hurriedly sort of starts pushing through doors, like making his way out in a bit of a fluster.
Yep. You arrive back onto the streets of the high city. Finian turns to you and goes, "Well, I don't know what else you were expecting."
I don't know. Better, more, something. Bureaucrats. Right. We need a confession.
We need
Or
something.
we go to Plan C.
I
will hand myself over.
mentioning this Plan C. Oh, no, that was never Plan C. That's like Plan Z, the last thing. Like, we've got the whole alphabet to get through first, buddy.
No, we don't. There's very little time. Malgrave is on the move. Fact of the matter is, my mind is filled with the last few weeks of information on a stand under a zone of truth. Under a mind-reading spell, they could take everything for truth. My mind is not, I will do it for them. I will do it for them. But if we cannot think of a safe way to get Malgrave to confess, I'm going to take myself back to him and offer myself up to the tribunals.
Well,
and we will do it this way.
Then let's put a pin in that for now. We don't know what the others are up to yet. We don't know where we can go next. We don't be making any rash decisions without speaking to anybody else. Right?
Okay. That's fine, but...
And look, if you go in there, hands in the air, trying to hand yourself in, there's no telling if you'll come back out again.
That's
Speaking
true,
of which, across the city... This is fun.
Oh, why'd you have to change the music?
You are forced through the main doors of the House of Galahad, Liana, at sword point. You enter the main foyer before the main stairs up to the villa. You've dropped all of your belongings or just your weapons?
Just my weapons.
Okay. Right. Anything else that you have on you? And he boots a box, a crate over towards your feet. In the fucking crate.
Okay. And I kneel down between him and the box. So
there's two of them, so this is going to be very difficult for you to try and do.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm going to make a big show of taking the sort of little bag that I have on my hip and stuff off. What I want to do is try and cup the potion of aqueous form, and I want to stash it sort of sneaky-handedly because I don't have sleeves. I'm going to try and stash it in my hair.
Okay, make me a sleight of hand check with disadvantage, please.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Sleight of hand check is...
And this is going to be contested roll.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That's a 17. Oh, with disadvantage. Fuck, cocked. Right, hold on. That was a nat 20, so 17.
Damn it.
As you begin to rate, you make a big show of putting things in the box and then begin messing with your hair. You feel a sword tip dig into your neck just below your ear, and he goes, "In the fucking crate," I said. And grabs your wrist and pulls your hand with the potion and kind of over the crate.
Just water. And I put it in the box.
You let go and it drops into the crate. You see the doors to the villa open as the crate gets dragged from in front of you off to one side. And you see coming down the stairs a detachment of 4 guards and the head of House Galahad, this portly, this kind of rotund individual. You see the nose crooked to one side where you broke it in the arena. You see him kind of with a walking stick kind of like hobble down the steps towards you with this detachment of 4 guards as they surround you in a circle with him ahead of you. You knelt down. Have you got back up yet? Or are you still on your knees? Because if that will make things happen if you try to stand up.
I don't try to stand up, but I look up at him. So my headphones just went low battery, so I actually missed who that was. I
so
got the
that's
description.
Yeah,
but
so it's the head of House Galahad. So this is
Right,
your former Lannister.
Yeah, Mr. Galahad. Yeah.
Yeah. As
So I know
he
him
steps
as Sir
and
Galahad,
just
so.
goes,
You show your face here again. I thought you'd be dead by now.
I'm harder to kill than you anticipate.
Do you think so? And you thought walking here through my gates once more was going to do what? Have you come to beg for your life once more, you mewling whim?
I've never begged. No. And you see, she just restrains herself. I just ask for your mercy, sir.
roll me a persuasion check.
You have advantage.
Oh yes, I have one. Thank fucking Christ. Okay, that's slightly better. Persuasion. That is 13.
13. I ought to throw you off the edge of this fucking continent for what you did to me.
If you do that, I can't earn you any more money.
But I'll give you what you want. Mercy. The mercy of a quick death. And as he says that, does a 19 hit?
Yes, a 19 hit.
Does a 22 hit?
Yes, a 22 hits.
Does a 16 hit?
Oh, for fuck's sake, yes, it does.
And does a 14 hit?
No.
Okay, so that's 3. You take 8, 16. You take 21 points of piercing damage as 3 blades into your ribs, 2 into your ribs, and 1 into the side of your neck.
I'm gonna fly.
And as
I'm gonna fly and behind, like a bit far away, behind
Okay.
the big the whatever he's called,
Lord
Galahad.
Galahad.
Yep, okay.
Yeah.
Do I feel him leave me?
No, you won't. But as these blades and Pym is flying, you kind of down, and as you do, there's an 18 hit.
What the fuck?
Yes!
Do something!
As a great axe comes down towards your head, and that is where we're going to end our session.
What? What?
I think I made a mistake.
Guys, hide the things you want to sneak into the prison before you go in.
Go
the prison.
into it.
I forgot. I'm not smart.
It's fine. It's fine. It's exciting.
So, we are going to end tonight's session there. We will pick this up again next week. Did you enjoy that, guys?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Of lycanthropy.
Sure.
Okay.
Did I take damage
get
from
out
that
of this,
last
it'll be
hit?
fine.
Do I know whether I've taken the damage? I just want to know whether to update my sheet.
It hits, didn't it?
It does hit. So
Okay.
I'm not updating it yet. No.
Not yet, no.
Okay.
Oh, no. Take off the damage I've just explained to you, but
Yeah, I did.
up to that point. Okay.
Okay.
So that is where we're going to draw this session to a close. We are going to just quickly try and find somebody to raid. Thank you, Roll Together RPG, for the raid again. Let's raid Table Story. Why not?
Yeah.
With me.
Crap.
So that is the end of tonight's session. Thank you, everybody, for sticking with us. We will be back next Tuesday for episode 24. We have 2 episodes left of Aerilon: A Destined Journey, so you don't want to miss it. We'll pick up here next Tuesday, but before we tap out, remember that it doesn't matter if your hair changes, it's still not red. Take care. Bye-bye.
Yeah! Unless you're me.
Moral of the story is